This is the Big O Show.
Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's your Shula, probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Probably Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fins, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know.
Culture, probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Good morning. It's a good one. It's a Friday. Hope you all are doing well out there. The sun is out. It is nice. We are out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll be out here for a couple of hours, carrying you till 2 o'clock. We'll have plenty of things to talk about on a beautiful Friday. And if you want to come on by and say hi, Ray Grulone, one of our hardcore listeners. Actually, I mean, he's been listening since the 90s. So he reminded me how old I am and how long I've been doing this thing, which is probably a long, long time. And Ray was really nice, man. He brought us a gift. He knows I'm a Star Wars freak. And, you know, I have that little Darth Vader that I put right under the Eiffel Tower that's lit up in our studio, but it's hard to find. So Ray actually purchased this. These are limited edition Darth Vaders by Pop, and so he brought us one, which is so cool. And so now this will be a new addition to the studio, as you guys are starting to dress up the studio now, right? You know, with the lunch boxes and everything now, and a Darth Vader. You got to love that. So I love this. This is fantastic. Should I display it like this in the box, or should I take it out of the box? You got to keep it intact for it to be worth. Well, you know I'm not selling it. Like, I don't do that anyway.
I know, but, you know, if you can keep it in the box.
So I was screwing up when I was opening it up in front of Ray?
See, you're not supposed to say that and let anybody know you did it.
I didn't really get to open it all up. I just kind of lifted the lid. That's all. But I didn't take it out because then I noticed on this side. Because I was an idiot. I was looking at it this way, and I was like, oh, let me see it. And then I turned it. Oh, there it is. And so I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I display it in the studio in the box, or do I take it out of the box? I don't know. Like that Marlins helmet, that radio helmet, that was the first time it came out of the box when I put it up in the studio. First time. I'd never taken it out of the box.
And that goes back, I mean, it's got to be one of the first 3 years with that logo. It goes back to what, 95?
I have no
minimum?
idea. I have no idea.
It's 93, 94, 93, 94, or 95. It's got to be one of those years because of that logo.
I don't know. I'd be lying to you if I knew exactly the year.
If you're going to take it out of the box, don't be like Sheldon and break the Star Trek teleporter, remember? And he swapped it out.
Yeah.
Don't break it.
Well, some people are saying in the box, Super Boom Shack says, take it out. They are so mass-produced. Are they? Because this thing, it has a number on it. Is this numbered, or is that not the number? Or is that just the item number of it? I don't know. See, it says 157. Is that like a number to it or something? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not exactly sure. But it's so freaking cool.
That little label at the bottom that says exclusive, I would guess that, it's probably one of those limited edition.
Yeah, it says,
but normally
it says 2019 Galactic Convention exclusive.
There you go.
So this is not mass produced, bro. Not this one, at least.
And that was,
so. And I think Ray said they were limited.
And he was up in Chicago, ORD.
I think Ray said he purchased 3 of them, and he gave us 1 of the 3, which is, Ray, you're amazing, dude. You're amazing. I think this is so cool. I think some of you might be right on maybe leaving it like this in the box. Even though you don't really see the whole thing, but you kind of get an idea.
Got to give props to Ray for also having the porpoise dolphin logo, not the killer whale.
Yes. He had the real Dolphins logo on, which was really cool. He also ordered a Tua jersey, and he's got. Why do we have to wait so long for our Tua jerseys? Why? That's just unfair, bro. I just don't understand that one, man. Making us wait forever. Like mine said, I think November. Brutal, dude. Brutal.
It's harder to get a Tua jersey than it is to get a mask. And then 99.
Yeah. Oh, they're kind of tough now, man. And the ones you see on Amazon now, like these companies have no ratings or anything. It's kind of nervous. Troy Ortiz is in the house. John Rouse is in the house. Bromar Smelly, man of 1,005 holds. Guillermo Arauz, Anthony Giandelletti says Dak wants $45 million in his 5th year. Well, they're denying it or whatever. I don't know who. Gus 1388 is in the house. Tom A, FSU baby up in Nebraska. King Short, Alexa V, Gio Million. He says ATL is in the house. Ian from Brooklyn, Omar Lopez, Rich V, Super Boom Shack, Alex Toledo, Tom A, just a bunch of you chiming in. Toledo says, leave it in the box. Oh, I do that with Pop Toys. I have kept it nice and safe. All right. Okay. Box it is. I think you guys got it right. Marta is in the house. Matthew, JC, Draco, love you all out there. Robert Triana, Hank Goldberg's left nut. So we got them all chiming in. Appreciate all of you out there chiming in and keeping it locked on a beautiful Friday. Hope you guys are safe out there. Big O, you're rocking the show, the slow hand today. Yes. This is a Clapton shirt. When I went to go see Eric Clapton at Madison Square Garden for a couple of nights, it was Eric Clapton, it was Jimmy Vaughn, and it was Gary Clark Jr. And then at the end of the set for Clapton, Gary Clark and Jimmy Vaughn came on, and they jammed all together. Okay? And it was one of those nights like, I've seen Clapton a few times, and I know that this time, you're seeing him towards the end. He doesn't really tour much. He only puts out a couple of dates, and so I had to get the, you get to see Eric Clapton, okay, Jimmy Vaughn and Gary Clark Jr. at Madison Square Garden. That alone, it was, we mainly flew up to New York for that. That was one of those. Last year, I think I went to New York 4 times for concerts, or three times. It was 4 times overall that I've been to trips to Madison Square Garden for concerts. I went 3 times last year to New York for 3 different occasions. Clapton was one, ELO was another, and U2 was another. So there you go. And it's actually a cool shirt because in the back, I'll show it to you.
Try that again.
Oh, you couldn't see it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Square up. A little bit. No, straight up and come down. Now bend your knees. But not your back. Don't slouch over. There. Okay.
There you go.
Love those location T-shirts. When there's location.
Those are the only ones you buy. If they don't have locations, you never buy it. There it is, whatever. I see my goofy ass there doing that. Anyway, so really good concert, man. It was a fun night. If you've never seen Clapton, you have missed out, obviously, on one of the greatest of all time. And let me tell you something. Gary Clark Jr., I've seen him a couple times. He is freaking awesome. I love Gary Clark Jr. He is a badass. Jimmy Vaughn, I've seen a couple times. I saw him with Steve Miller. They did an entire blues set. Steve Miller did no Steve Miller songs that night. I don't know if any of you saw that concert, but it was at the Adrian Arce Center. And it was Jimmy Vaughn and Steve Miller for a couple of hours of doing just blues. And it was awesome. So good stuff, yes. Today, sporting the Clapton MSG shirt, which is one of those. And it's actually cool because you don't get a lot of blue concert shirts. That's the other thing about this shirt that I like. Usually it's black or white, right? Some grays, but blues, right. But blues are very rare. So when I see a concert shirt that's a little bit off the normal beaten path, and I like to purchase that one. And this one, obviously, is a really cool one.
Come to think of it, the one that I got when we saw him at BB&T, it's blue.
Okay.
So Eric is he's aware of the fact that, there's people like us looking for non-black.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you very much.
Yes. No, I'm with you there. Let's see, what else do we have here? George says, never break the factory seal. Okay. There was no factory seal, technically. They didn't put one. Leticia is in the house. George Albanese. Jeremy Dorset. So many in the house. I am reminded of Jerry Sloan's passing. Yes, I just saw that this morning. Just a little while ago, Jerry Sloan, the great Utah coach, passed away. Our thoughts and prayers, obviously, to the Sloan family. He's one of those guys, and Jerry Sloan, that I think any of us that watch basketball for a long time, you didn't have to be a Utah fan, but you were a fan of Jerry Sloan because you respected the way he coached and the way he managed things and the professionalism he expected from people around him. That guy was fantastic, man. I'm a big fan of Jerry Sloan, and sad to hear that the former Jazz head coach passed away. A guy that, probably should have won a title if it wasn't for Michael, man, because that team was awesome. Awesome.
You know what? Him and Don Nelson, man, lots and lots and lots of wins and no championship, man.
Well, with Don, at least he didn't teach defense, where Sloan, Sloan was more of a two-way coach. So, because my problem with Don Nelson is I know he was so innovative offensively, but him and D'Antoni, it's just they lose something with me because their teams always lack that defense.
One-track mind, man,
Yeah. Myron Sanchez is in the house, as Iron Maiden rocks. You are correct, sir. Let's see, what else do we have here? EM Dolphin, Dolphin fan, is in the house. Gio Million, hey, Big O, what's your take on Tom Brady and the Bucs this season? Do you think they got the talent to make the push for the playoffs in the Super Bowl in the NFC, or is Brady washed out? I will get to that, my friend. I will talk about that because I have some stuff I want to talk about with Tom coming out with that 9-part series and a couple other things that came out. I have here some notes. I will get to some of that talk. Rick Bagley says, blow a seal, laughing my ass out. Okay. What's blow a seal? I don't know what that means. But as long as you're laughing.
Well, the guy talking, you don't break the,
that seal.
Yeah, you just play on words here. Just a little bit.
I got you. Blow the seal. Okay, all right. All right, agree. Much respect for him, Tom A. says. Myron says he was a great coach. No doubt, man. Brady threw his first pick six against Miami at Foxborough. All right? We've lost many of the celebrity and athlete coaches lately. Enough. I'm with you, man. Yeah, but you get up into that age group. It's a dangerous time for all of us as we get up into that age group as it is. You know what I'm saying? So we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura, Pembroke Pines, like we are every Friday. Like we've been here for 10 years now, which is amazing that this is our 10th year of partnering with the great people here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. So come on out, folks, and take advantage of some fantastic deals. They've got also some great discounts, too. If you're a military veteran, they're giving you $750 off. If you're a first responder, $750 off. If you're a graduate, $500 off. If you're all three, you can get all three of them and combine them and get it off for your first vehicle. Whether you're buying or leasing, they're going to give you 90 days, no payments, to make it easy for you during this transition. You can also buy and purchase your car through the phone if you want, and they can drive the car to your house. That's actually happened several times here now. In fact, they think it's going to be a trend that is going to stick now post-pandemic, whenever post-pandemic is, that people have had such a great experience purchasing cars like that. Personally, for me, I got to kind of see the car. We talked about this yesterday, but they say that a lot of people are doing that now. And I can see it, man. It's super convenient. You don't want to wait here for a couple of hours waiting for the process of the paperwork. Whenever you buy or lease a car, you know how it is. It's not a 10-minute process. It takes, probably 2 hours at least. And so in that process, you'd rather be at home waiting for all the paperwork. And so there you go. It's a way that people are doing it. And you don't have to really get involved with a lot of people, too, at the same time. Anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about on the show. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. We've got the YouTube chat board. We got the super chat going on YouTube there. Always active. And also email. It's starting to pick up now. You can always email me if you got more things to say. You want to send me a picture, a video of something. Maybe you got some scoop on breaking news on something. Whatever it is you want to send me. You can send it to me on email at Orlando@BigORadioshow.com. Orlando@BigORadioshow.com. All right, so we let me see something here. Did I think I did. I think I screwed up. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, so one of the things that I want to start talking a little bit about is Dolphins, because that's kind of in the news. We got some Dolphin stuff I want to get into. We got some Heat stuff also I want to get into. We'll talk some soccer later on with Michelle Kaufmann at 1:30. She's going to join us from the Miami Herald. So we'll get into a little Inter-Miami. I am looking forward to the Inter-season starting. And pretty soon you'll be able to hear something else that we'll be doing also with Inter. So I'm looking forward to that. I said when Inter came to town, I was going to be a fan only. I wasn't going to get involved because I've been involved with all the teams. But we're involved, and we're involved in a big-time way. And I'm really excited because it's something that I know it's right on my alley, but it's going to be an exciting project that we're going to be a part of. So I'm looking forward to that with the great folks at Inter Miami, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially for you soccer fans out there. We're going to build a home for you like you've never had before. And that's going to be really, really cool. And it's not going to be local. It's not just going to be national. It's going to be also international. And that's going to be a lot of fun. What do we got here? NorCal says, breaking news, perfect wake and bake weather out in Cali. Streaming Big O radio show from the foothills. Like and share, chat borders. There we go. I like it. Like, share, subscribe, do all of that while you're watching, folks. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. That's the most important thing you do, is share the link of the show with people, whether it's the iTunes link, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, however you watch and support our show, share the link with a friend. All right, so let me get into a little Ryan Fitzpatrick, because we always love talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Ryan did the interview yesterday, and obviously his hair and his beard were making headlines all over. Everybody was loving his beard and his hair and all that stuff, and it is glorious. I will give it to him. There's no doubt about it. So he was asked about working with the quarterbacks, and I want you to hear this soundbite, okay? Go ahead, Bill. Fire off Ryan Fitzpatrick talking about working with the young quarterbacks.
Excited for him to be here. I love watching him play in college, and I think he's going to be an awesome addition to the team for a long time. I'm as competitive as they come, so I want to go out there and start. I know that in order for our team to be successful, whoever's playing in that quarterback room has to be successful. So whether that's me out there or whether that's somebody else, be it Tua, I'm going to do the best I can to help him to make sure that our position is doing the things to make our team win.
Now, I love that entire soundbite. He says all the right things like he normally does. He's got the perfect attitude like he normally does. He's looking glorious with that hair and that beard like he normally does. But the one thing that stood out to me in that soundbite is, whether it be Tua out there, and he should have said whether it be Tua or Josh out there, or Josh or Tua, he should have mentioned both guys. I felt so bad for Josh Rosen because, and look, he's kind of brought it on himself. He's got to do his part to shine. See, one of the things that always pisses me off about the way we treat quarterbacks sometimes is we expect everything to be perfect for them. And if it's not perfect for them, then you can't expect them to be productive. You can't expect them to make things happen. And that's not true. Now, if they don't have the right people around them, they're going to struggle. They're going to have some bad moments. They're not going to achieve their pinnacle. But throughout it all, you're going to see your moments that will convince you, like, okay, he's the guy. And I remember we used to do it with Ryan Tannehill all the time too. Well, no, his line isn't well, he doesn't have the right receivers. Well, you change his offensive coordinator. And yet he never raised the level of play of anybody around him. And Rosen did not do that. And I understand that he had a disastrous year in Arizona, and they didn't teach him anything there. And then here they tried to teach him as much as they could. And he had some moments, and there were moments also where the players around him failed and they dropped balls. I remember that early. But he just didn't do enough to elevate. And then he did enough to tell you you're not the guy yet because he made mistakes. And in chaos, you got to try to rise above it if you're a quarterback. You're not going to be able to always rise above it because it's really difficult. But you've got to rise above it sometimes. You've got to make some plays sometimes. There are moments where you have to show that you are the difference in the play. And that's what you saw in Ryan Fitzpatrick last year. In chaos, while lines were breaking down, while running game wasn't working, while players were inconsistent, he found a way to make a play or two every once in a while. And that's what you saw different in him than you saw in Josh Rosen, than you saw in Ryan Tannehill, than you saw in Cleo Lemon, than you saw in whatever guy that you've had here forever. Okay? Most of the guys that you've had here, when there's chaos, when there's whatever, they're just not the guy. So they fold because they can't raise everybody above them. And so Rosen has kind of earned this on his own. And the kid can pass. You can see it that he has it. But he has to find that bridge of overcoming the connection of what's going on in front of him, the play that's designed, and then he's got to find a middle ground when chaos breaks. And he can't. And that's the magic of Russell Wilson. And that's the magic of Pat Mahomes. And that's the magic of Tom Brady. And that's my point is, that's the magic of Deshaun Watson. When you're a good quarterback, you find a way to make plays. You're not going to make them all the time because nobody does. But you got to do it moments that you're going to convince us you're the guy. And then when you hear Fitz's soundbite and he mentions Tua, look, you and I know they drafted Tua because he's the guy. Okay, Rosen, you had your window. They saw enough of you that they said, yeah, no, he doesn't have that it quality to get over the top. And maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. But what I love about Miami is they didn't waste time. They're going to go get another quarterback. And that's what you got to do. This franchise stuck around with the same guy for years and didn't bother to bring in competition, didn't bother to try to raise level, didn't try to bring somebody better. Forget just competition, bring somebody better. These guys are not like that. You can't play corner, we move you out, we'll get somebody else. You can't play guard, we'll go find somebody else. You can't play tackle, you can't play quarterback, we'll find somebody else. And Josh Rosen has gotten to that point now where he is absolutely the forgotten man. He's forgotten by the fan base. He's forgotten by his coaches. He's forgotten by his front office. He's forgotten by his quarterback in his quarterback room. And while people are inquiring about him, the Dolphins are going to stay steadfast on this, and they're going to try to continue to develop the guy to see if they can get something out of him. Whether that works or it doesn't, we'll see. They'll try to showcase him in the preseason, I would imagine, because Tua with that hip, you're probably not going to play him. Plus, the offensive line is trying to figure it out. So you're going to sacrifice the other two, not Tua. So Josh Rosen will have an opportunity to prove to people that he has gotten better. And then hopefully sometime in the regular season, he gets that other opportunity. And then desperation sets in around the league, and then maybe you can trade him down the line. But that soundbite by Ryan Fitzpatrick tells you a lot about where Rosen stands. And now the interesting part will be is how does Rosen respond to all of this? Is it nonchalant? Is it desperation? Do we have a pissed off and motivated Josh Rosen now? Like, hey, man, second franchise I get moved to, and they have quit on me right away. The first one quit on me and traded me away and went and got my replacement, and they're happy. I came to this franchise, and I couldn't make enough of an impact. They went out and got their guy now again. I mean, it's kind of like the person that gets married that third and fourth time. You got to kind of look in the mirror and say, maybe it's not all these people that I'm marrying. Maybe it's just me. That's why I keep getting married and divorced. You know what I'm saying? If you've been married 3, 4, 5 times, it's bad luck might happen once or twice that you hooked up with the wrong person. Once it starts to get into 3 or 4, that becomes a problem. And so for Josh Rosen, this is something now that he's got a nip in the bud. For him personally, forget about us as Miami Dolphin fans, okay? We just want to benefit from him getting traded to get another pick back. That's all it is. So that way, when you traded your second rounder for 2 second rounders, you turn that second rounder into anything, a third, a fourth, or something. So at least you're getting something back in the process. Okay? But you got to build up that value. You know what I'm saying? And now, if Josh isn't motivated now, he never will be. So let's find out which Josh Rosen you're going to get from here on out. Is it the guy that is out to lift his career, or is it the guy that has pretty much given up? Tommy Italian 305 chiming in on the Super Chat. Yes. Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate you, man. On the super chat, the first super chat of the day.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
All right. Tom A says, does that have something to do with confidence? Rosen doesn't have that yet. Fitz is gunslinging and has it. Well, you know what it is, Tom? It's confidence and conscience. Can't have one, bro. Can't have one. You can't, if you have success, you can't keep talking about your success. You got to put away your success in life. Enjoy it for 1 second and then put it away and make it the next goal, your next level of success. Same thing as failure. You can't allow failure to fester because you're going to fail. I'm going to fail. We're going to go for a job. We're not going to get it. We're going to go for somebody that we think we love, and we're not going to get it. We're going to try to win at a poker game, and we don't. We're going to win and lose all the time, right? We're trying to make it on time somewhere, and traffic, whatever, and we got there late, and we lost out on whatever it was. Life, it has a way of handing you defeats, in all kinds of ways. And you've got to find a way to overcome all of that. If you live your life worried about your failures or thinking about your constant failures, then you will live. It's kind of the people that live in the past. The guy that was the high school captain of his football team, and that's what he keeps remembering all the time. He's 45 years old, and he's still talking about the day he got 130 yards against whatever high school. And it's like, there's a lot more life after that, bro. What else did you do? And Rosen, it's up to him to put away his failures. Whatever has happened in Arizona, whatever happened last year, he's got to clean the slate. And he's got to wipe it from his mind, and he's got to be motivated about taking to his job. Seriously. That's what he has. He has to, and not look at Tua like an enemy. Don't treat him like an enemy, because that's not what you do in a team setting. But there's competition. And everybody understands competition at any level, as long as it's done in a professional manner, as long as it's done in a respectful manner. And clearly Josh Rosen can do that. What we're trying to find out is, where's the dog in Josh Rosen? That's what we're trying to find out right now. Is there a junkyard dog in there? Because Tua has it. You can see it clearly. The way he comes back from rehabs, the way he has come back from every injury, the way he excels on the field, the way he finds a way to make plays. The kid has the it factor. The only hurdle so far he has shown us is what? Injuries. That's it. That's the only hurdle that guy has. He doesn't lack confidence at all. He is a leader. And so Josh Rosen is around two guys, an older leader that has learned the hard way how to do things in the NFL, how to go about things, how to have the right attitude. And then he's got a young leader that had way more success than he did in college, that was better than he was in college. So Josh has everything in front of him. 1, to learn. 2, to challenge. 3, he's got the God-given ability. It's not like he lacks arm strength. It's not like he lacks athleticism. It's not like he lacks intelligence. It's not like he lacks health. He has everything he needs to be successful. There's one element that we need to see from Josh Rosen, and that's got to be the dog in him right now. Because they're about pretty much ripping away the second opportunity he had at an NFL starting job. It's pretty much gone. Now you drafted Tua. In order to take it from Tua, you're going to have to be pretty special. Well, it's time to get on that horse, bro. It's time to prove it, man. It's time to prove that you can get it done. And if you can't, well, then you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. I don't want to hear about, the team wasn't that great and the team wasn't that great and Fitz found a way to do things. That's what I keep telling people. I used to tell the Ryan Tannehill people that all the time when they'd make excuses. And I'd say, no, man, you got to be able to make some plays. You got to be able to do something that really elevates people. And that's what Josh Rosen hasn't been able to do yet. And he better get his crap together because the guy he's competing with, that kid don't play, man. That kid's the real deal. He just has to stay healthy. All right, we got some more super chats. Eric Holmes, baby, is in the house with the super chat. Eric, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you giving us a little love on the super chat. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. It is unbelievable. And another super chat from Flipper13 who says, Rosen was a confident kid at UCLA. Wow.
Recent research has shown
super chat.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
So Flipper says Rosen forever. Well, let's hope so, man. Let's hope the kid. Look, again, we've talked about this subject before. If you're a Dolphins fan, you've got to be pulling for Josh Rosen as strong as you pull for Tua. We got to develop two quarterbacks, not one, because that way you can trade one for some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then that becomes a really good move for you. If you end up getting back a third or fourth rounder or fifth rounder for him, okay, it's, you lose a little bit, whatever, but you turned a second rounder into 2 second rounders. You just deferred that second rounder to the second year, and you ended up using the other one on Rosen. So you still get back your second rounder for the second rounder. Whatever bonus you get for Rosen will be extra. That's all. Or it would be nice that if he turns into a little bit of a player, now you can get something significant for him in return that can help you out. In their eyes, they probably will go with draft picks unless they can find a young player on somebody's roster that they haven't paid yet. That kind of stuff. I can see them doing that, but right now we have to root for Josh Rosen to kick ass.
I just have to say, it's nice to see that you're back. Yesterday there was this guy that looked just like you. Yeah, and he was on time the whole. I'm glad you're back, man. 9 minutes past the half hour.
No, it's 6. It says 11:36 there.
Well, I'm looking at when we started.
All right. Well, it's 11:36.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a quick break. They're cracking the whip on me here. I deserve it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. You can also reach out on the super chat and on email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. Let's take a quick break from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Coming to you live from beautiful Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, and we thank Ray Grulon for coming by and giving us a little Star Wars gift. That was very nice of him. Appreciate all of you as always supporting the show. And gifts over the years that I've gotten from all of you out there. I always love it and cherish it, every one of them, man. Thank you so much out there. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Call of Duty. By the way, Call of Duty, I loved marble racing. Thank you for the videos, okay? That was actually cool. That was actually really, really cool.
That's a really big thing in wherever, Australia, whatever.
It was good. It was good.
It's happening, man.
Yeah. It was good. Well, it's better than Korean baseball. That I can tell you right off the bat. I'd rather watch marble racing than Korean baseball. Okay, that's without even saying. Okay.
Now, what about Korean soccer with the visuals in the stands?
The
They're not real. They're not real. That's the problem.
Yeah. On a side note, can I just say, I hope they catch and electrocute the two bastards that kidnapped the 9-year-old autistic child last night at Home Depot on Kendall Drive in 160th. It's pretty close to my house, actually. And I saw that story, and I was just praying for the return of the child. And then I saw this morning where the child was found dead, and it just made me sick to my stomach. First of all, anybody that would abduct any child and just terrorize a child forever, possibly hurt that child, and also the parents, and nobody ever recovers from this. And these are moments in our world that I can't comprehend. I can't understand. I have no tolerance for any of this stuff. I just don't, man. The abuse of children, the abuse of women, the abuse of animals. These are things that, I just have so much disgust for. And the people that do these kind of things, because to me, it's just something that I cannot understand. I really cannot understand how sick of an individual you must be to do any of these acts. And I just pray that they catch these men and there is swift justice. Okay? And real justice, by the way.
Strap them down and fry them.
Yeah. It's just, wow. That story just breaks my heart, man, when I see that. Child abducted, and can you imagine that autistic child, what that autistic child was going through last night? I'm sorry to kind of go in a dark area, but I got to mention it because it happened locally and recently, and it's just, it's out there, and it bothers me. It should bother all of us. All of us. You know what I mean? This is something that should not be going on in any part of our world. I had to kind of get it off my chest. I'm sorry. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Tommy Italian 305 says, I won't listen to any Tua is a bus talk. Now, Tua, the only Tua stuff we have to worry about is injuries. That's why it's really imperative to let him heal completely so he can go out there and make sure that the stuff around him is working properly, like the offensive line, so he's not taking any extra hits early on. Mariota wasn't even drafted over Winston, so no, he wasn't supposed to be the next big thing. They were both drafted back-to-back. They were both kind of considered, the big things. I was never a Mariota guy, but I was a Winston guy. No matter how crazy he was at FSU, I thought for sure he'd be a productive quarterback in the NFL. I did not think he would be the turnover machine he became. Do they have the video of the incident? I have not seen any video. I don't know if there's any video on the Home Depot parking lot. I hope there is, and I hope their faces are everywhere so people can track them down. Rosenda goes, sorry, Bill, we don't fry anymore. Florida's lethal injection. We'll take it however it comes, bro. Okay.
Well, then juice them up.
Yeah. No, you have to. We appreciate you doing that. The family deserves it. Thank you. I just, I don't want to bring anybody down, but I just saw that, and it just, I'm speechless. I got to tell you, stuff like that just makes me sick to my stomach because I don't know how that crosses even your mind to do anything like that. I got 4 dogs. No, I'm good. I got 4 dogs at home. I got my wife, my daughter. I would never hurt my child. I would never hurt my wife. I would never hurt my kid, my other kids, my dogs. These are things that it's hard for me to comprehend. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I just don't, I find it to be so sick and weak on any man's part that you would do that. And it's just an unacceptable act at every level. Clee says the kid killers need to be executed slowly and gruesomely on pay-per-view. The 2 closest relatives to the killers should be executed as well. I'm not going to go with the relatives, Clee. Come on, bro. There's believe it or not, there's actually a bunch of parents that do all the right things, and their kid just came out wrong and was wired. He or she was wired wrong. That happens all the time, Clee. I get it that sometimes we can blame parents that have created their own monsters. I'm not going to take that away from you. I understand that. But to paint everybody with the same brush, Clee, I can't do that, man, because I've seen it myself. I know parents that did the right things, and the kid was just, and grew up to be a bad person, and it wasn't their upbringing. That happens too, man. Okay? Don't blame the environment always on how a person turns out. a lot of times we get to make our own decisions in life. And that's how, it normally turns out, by what you choose to do. Okay? And that's where I would disagree with you on that one. These two guys, I don't mind frying those guys. I don't mind if they tie them to a pole and people just beat the crap out of them to death. They deserve it for what they did to that child. But to say, well, then I'm going to also execute their parents, that's a stretch. You got to know everything about, how they were raised in order to do something like that. Let's see. I'm a UK Dolphin fan of 40 years. Woodley was my first quarterback, was on pilgrimage to Miami to find Clapton's house. Really? On 461 Ocean Boulevard and discovered the Dolphins. Get the hell out of here, Rock Bear. Is that true? So pilgrimage, right? Is that? I don't know why I'm having trouble pronouncing that. It leads that you're going to go find Clapton. You found the Miami Dolphins. Pilgrimage. There it is, pilgrimage. Okay, now I had to repeat it in my mind a couple of times, pilgrimage. Anyway, that's a great story. UK Dolphin fan of 40 years. Woodley was my first quarterback, was on pilgrimage to Miami to find Clapton's house on 461 Ocean Boulevard and discovered the Dolphins. That is a great story. That is a great story where Clapton meets the Dolphins. That's fantastic. That is a good one. Super Boom Shack. These losers have no game and they take it out on children. It's disgusting at every level. Alex says, it happened with my uncle. You are right. Not always the parents' fault. Oh, yeah, man. There are parents that do all the right things. Yeah. There's parents that they do all the right things, and then you just never know. There's a chemical imbalance, and there's just something wired wrong, and as a parent, you feel like a total failure, and it's not really your fault, and you can't do anything about it. That's all. There's plenty of people that just turn out bad, and it wasn't their upbringing. Sometimes it's an environment that they ended up in, an influence outside of the house, or something just mentally was not right about them. That's all. I just kind of find it unfair to blame, the parents all the time. That's too easy. You know what I mean? We have to take responsibility for our own actions because we're all human beings and we're all going to make mistakes. I'll give you a great example. Here's one that it's not to the extreme of what we're talking about, but it's about mistakes and it's about our society and the way we go about. Maybe sometimes we're too forgiving. Okay? How about if I put it that way? Sometimes we're too forgiving. And sometimes people, they have not accomplished enough, and yet they want credit for something that they're not worthy. And Aldon Smith is that guy. Aldon Smith was just reinstated by the NFL. He's been out of football for 5 years almost, okay? If you don't know the Aldon Smith story, you can go. There's DUIs and I think some drug use and some domestic violence. There's
gunshots at a party.
His life has been a mess. And so now he just got reinstated by the NFL. And I'll give you a perfect example of our society. Remember, I was just telling you how people, sometimes with Rosen that we were talking about how in order to succeed or overcome failures in life, one, you can't live off your success very long. If you keep living off your success, you lose focus for the future and you get off track and you're done. You've seen those players that in sports, they have a good week or a good month. And then they're sucking up all the attention and all that, and then they can't do it anymore. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, the problem was you were never that player, or two, in order for you to be that player, you have to stay focused. And once you lose your way and you start partying and going to get laid and start that, you get off track, right? So Aldon Smith has been reinstated by the NFL. And Aldon wants his story to be an inspiration for people. And my problem with that part of his story is that Aldon has not done enough to be an inspiration for anybody. Aldon Smith right now is a poor example for anyone. He's not a good example in any way, shape, or form. Let me explain something to people that are trying to overcome anything in life. I don't care what it is, okay? But in his case, it's addictions. If you're off of it for a year, hey, good for you personally. That's not inspirational, okay? You're still on a trial period. Talk to me 5-10 years down the line, after you've straightened out your life, after you no longer are alcohol or drug dependent or whatever it is that you were dependent on, and that you've got a career going, and that you've been on a positive track for several years. Not because you're fresh out of rehab and you haven't had a drink in 9 months or a year and a half, whatever it's been for him. I'm sure it hasn't been that long since his last incident, if I look it up, and whatever rehab time. It's a nice achievement for him personally. But when he starts to say to people out there, I still feel young. I don't have the mileage on my body. I still feel great when I go to the gym. I still feel young and fresh. So if anything, I'm looking forward. I'm going to be able to be out there. And then he goes, I just want my story to spread and help others. I believe everybody goes through things in their life, and no matter what they do for a profession, it affects them in a manner that can be either a downfall or it can be something that they look at and learn from. I want people to see my story and see if they'll be able to be like, hey, man, he can do it. He's done it. I want to be a source of inspiration for people. Well, Aldon, let's see if you make it back to the NFL, my brother. Let's see if you can still play in the NFL. And if you don't make it in the NFL, which you've been out of football for 5 years, that's understandable. Now, let's see how you handle that. Where do you go from there? Do you find another career and do you stay on track for several years with a new career? Whatever it is. Then you can become an inspiration. But you haven't overcome anything yet. You've barely overcome your addictions. In this world, we want instant gratification for everything that we do. And we used to give you the credit when it was done on a long period of time, because that's when you've proven that you're a consistent whatever, professional. You're a consistent parent. You're a consistent husband. You're a consistent wife. You're a consistent politician. You're a consistent CEO. It's not that you got the job and you've done a nice job for 6 months and now you're a source of inspiration. No, you've done it for 6 or 16 years and you've maintained a high level. That's how you become an inspiration. You don't become an inspiration just because you overcame something for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or a year. That's your own personal achievement. You can build on that like a building block. That's what he's got to use, Aldon Smith. Say, you know what? This is good for me. I've taken a first step, because that's all he's done. I don't know him as a guy that is a responsible citizen of the world yet. When I see you become a responsible citizen of the world for many, many years, then we can talk. But I see people all the time that they are in rehab, They get out of rehab. They're out of rehab for a year or 2 or 3, and then they're back in again, and then they're out again, and they're back in, and they're out. And it's like that for their whole lives. And, when they're a year out or 2, they try to become inspirational. And why? Because we're in this instant gratification society. And what I would tell Aldon Smith is, my brother, you have accomplished squat in life. Squat. Personally, for you, you're taking baby steps. But in our world, the people that are fathers and mothers and husbands and professionals and doctors and lawyers and people that work in the sanitation department, I don't care what they do. And they've been doing it for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, bringing home the money, taking care of their families. Those are the inspirations. Aldon Smith. Those are the people I look up to. The guy that's in over there in the Bay here in Acura, working as a mechanic the last 15 years, paying his dues, paying his bills, supporting his wife and his kids. Aldon Smith, that's my inspiration. Some schmuck that played in the NFL for a couple years and had sacks and then took advantage of all the money and started hurting people and hurting himself, and because he's a year or 2 removed from it, he wants to be an inspiration? Kiss my ass, dude. That's the problem in this world, man. People aren't willing to really sacrifice and make real commitments, and they want to be instantly gratified right away for little accomplishments or nothing. We got kids here at the University of Miami football program for years now. They've been putting on that helmet, and they think they're Michael Barrow. They think they're Ed Reed. And yet, they never accomplished one damn thing in that uniform. Yet they carry themselves like the swag and all this stuff, and they've never earned anything whatsoever. That's why that program's been the way it's been, because they have not gotten the kids that are willing to work and establish and do something that can be inspirational. That was the difference of the other UM players. What they did was inspirational. Their dedication to winning was inspirational. Their dedication to preparation was inspirational. But that's because there was sacrifice behind it. When Aldon Smith shows me sacrifice for a long period of time, then he can become inspirational. Okay? Inspirational is the police officer in the streets for 20 years protecting us. That's inspirational. Not the cop that did it for 6 months or a year. That's nice. It's a nice job. I appreciate it. But you're not inspirational, my man. You haven't done, or woman, you haven't done enough yet. It's great. You got voted in. You're now a councilman. You're now a senator. You're now a governor. Now what are you going to do? You're just going to celebrate that you're governor? Or are you going to put in the work and you're going to make a difference? You want to be inspirational? Make a change, man. Make a real change, Aldon Smith. All right, it's 12:01. Let me break now because if not, Bill will lose it. We're out here. I do want to tell you about EJD Construction, baby. Eric and the great people at EJD Construction, they're waiting for your phone call. By the way, when they come for the estimate, mask, gloves, everything, you name it, any OSHA requirements, they follow all of them. So please call them right now. And I'm not talking about a handyman. I'm talking about custom home construction, major home remodeling. This is the man you can trust. Call Eric at EJD Construction, 305-318-4978, folks. All right, I'm telling you, anything you want to do, you want to be 007, you want the TV to come out of the roof or the floor or the wall, they can do it. I'm telling you. All right? You want to build up that backyard, you want to create a nice terrace or anything to cook, or you want to put out a big old kitchen back there so you can start barbecuing in the backyard, call EJD Construction. They do it all. You want to add an addition to your house, business, you want to expand, EJD Construction, 305-318-4978.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We're back. If you want to get in, 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. Let me see what we got here. Your boy Tom Brady, following in Jordan's footsteps in his own documentary next year, won't be anywhere as good. Well, that's the first one I'm reading here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Let's talk a little bit about this. It's really turned interesting, this whole document. We are now in the age of the athletic documentary, right? Because now these movie companies, since Hollywood has no creativity whatsoever, right? We've got to remake MacGyver. We got to redo Miami Vice. We're going to redo every movie that's been made already. We'll redo them over. All the TV shows, Hawaii Five-0, we'll bring them all back again because we have no creativity. So since they have no creativity, we are now in the era of the rockumentary, right? Queen, Elton John, all this stuff that's been going on, and now the athlete documentary. And Jordan obviously dominated the last 5 weeks with that 10-part series, which was phenomenal. Now Tom Brady, who is 6-3 in Super Bowls, has a 9-part series, one for every Super Bowl, and I guess he's going to tell the story, which again tells you he's gotten away from Belichick because he could never do this with Belichick, right? So he's got to now he gets to tell this story away from the Patriots while all that with the Patriot stuff going on, and it'll come out in 2021. Will it be as good or better than Michael Jordan? Not even close. Of course not. I don't know how much footage they're going to have. They're not going to have as much footage as they did for Jordan because the Patriots don't let you in anywhere. So it's really more about him, and I don't know what else they're going to have involved. But we'll watch. I'll be interested because it's one of the greatest athletes of all time. Look, the Lance Armstrong one's going to go on. I'm not watching 1 second of Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong's a scumbag. Lance Armstrong's a freaking lowlife. I won't watch that guy at all, ever. I won't support him one bit at all.
It doesn't interest you to see the scumbaggery in nothing.
No. I have no interest
no
in supporting.
acknowledgement.
I don't want to hear anything Lance Armstrong has to say.
Even if they're ripping him.
No, it's his documentary.
Yeah, so it's going to be
it's his story.
Yeah, his little positive spin on it.
And you've already told me, dude, you're a sack of lies. You're an evil person. You were intimidating people. You were trying to get them fired. Him and Ryan Braun are two guys in the world of athletics that I want no part of, dude. None. The scumbaggery of those guys that, look, man, we're all going to screw up. I'm going to screw up. I'll screw up 100 more times in my life in the next month. But at least I'll take responsibility for them. I'm not going to try to get somebody fired for a mistake that I do. That I'm never going to do. And the fact that those two lowlifes did that, I want nothing to do with those scumbags. But we're in this era now where everybody wants to tell their story, and this is a way for these companies to make money, obviously, because athletes sell. And Brady, hey, man, Brady overall is a good example for people. He's not a bad dude at all. You can get into the Deflategate stuff and all. That's such silliness. I don't really care about that. That, to me, Brady was going to kick the Colts' ass with a Nerf ball, dude. Okay? It's just, who cares if a ball's overinflated, underinflated? What? You still got to play the damn game. Okay? Offense, defense, special teams, coaching. That, to me, none of it made. I don't care about any of that. But I am interested to see what Brady has to say because he is a winner, and he's one of those athletes that I do respect. And obviously terrorizing our Dolphins for many years. So in a way, I got to watch that too, But I have no problem watching that one. But I'm with you. I'm not expecting a Michael Jordan type of drama behind any of it. But I do want to hear what he has to say about it because I think he'll be, pretty honest about all of it. And I think he gets to be a little bit more honest now because he's no longer tied to the Patriots. Now, look, I know what's going to happen. He's not going to trash Belichick. He's not going to trash any of his teammates, not that he should. He's not going to trash Robert Kraft, who he loves. So I understand where this is going to come from. It's probably going to come from more about him and his personal challenges to overcome all of this because that's who he is. I don't expect him to come up with all kinds of stuff and talk about shady stuff that might have gone on with the Patriots. I don't expect that. But I will watch. But it is interesting how we are in this era, and there's no doubt in my mind that LeBron James and his people have been collecting documentary film stuff now for the last couple of years as they see all this develop. So whenever he retires, they can come up with their own glorified one that I'm sure will have 62 parts to it, just so the king has the king of all documentaries. You know what I'm saying? And again, it won't be half as good as Jordan. It won't be a tenth as good as Jordan's because he's not Jordan, And so it's funny how we are in that era now of, all right, let's find out about this athlete. Let's tell you more about this person and that person. I'll tell you what, it would have been interesting to have a documentary in those years where the Seahawks won the title and lost the title. and to get the behind the scenes with that team, because that would have been really, really interesting, the behind the scenes with that team.
I have to say that if this Brady thing is what you're talking about, man, I really don't give a crap about the fact that his favorite ice cream flavor is avocado and his diet. You know, I want to know about you guys filming the team practicing at the Super Bowl and all the little.
He's not going to talk about
exactly. So you know what? If he's talking to me about avocado flavored ice cream and all this other in his diet and all that crap, I could give up. You know.
Well, it's good. I think it's going to be all about him. It's going to be him talking about how he has overcome this and that, and in life, and
doing mattress commercials. Oh boy.
Yeah, all that stuff. I think there'll be some stuff with some of his teammates, I'm sure, but I don't think you're going to get any kind of negativity from any of those guys.
Like I want to hear about the effect of, like, we're about to go and play in the Super Bowl, and our owners, having fun at the day spa.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to get any of that. He loves that guy. There might be a little tension between him and Belichick, but not with the owner. He loves the owner. You know? Tom Brady may be mad at Belichick now, but he definitely loves him too. Oh, for sure. For sure. Instead of Lance Armstrong, they should do one on Greg LeMond. Yeah. I would watch the Greg LeMond one. Okay? The only thing interesting about LeBron is when he played with the Heat anyway. I could see LeBron finally brought himself a hairline. He brought or bought? Either way, right? What do we have here on the text line?
You know what would be a good documentary, man?
Yes.
The Raiders from the 70s. All the stick 'em this and, all the characters and everything. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of them that would be really cool. Those Raiders teams, I mean, they were as colorful as it gets. Maybe the most colorful football team in the history of time. How
Lyle Alzado was the Orange Crush and a good guy. He goes to the Raiders and he becomes a bad guy.
Yeah. Matuzak was there. Ted Hendricks. Oh, my Lord. That team had characters, bro. Characters. I know you're a dog lover, so I figured you would appreciate this. My girl loves to watch football with her daddy. We are hoping and praying we both have college and NFL football this year. I am with you, man. I hope so, too. Man. Yep. Let's see. Big O, it's time for the Lions to move on from Matthew Stafford. And just in, the boy's mother and father are both in custody being interviewed, law enforcement sources say. Really? Oh, wow. Oh, God. Are you telling me that the story gets even more disgusting? That the parents had the kid kidnapped and killed? Oh, God. Ugh. I don't even want to. That poor child, man. Child was brought into this world already at a deficiency. It's our job as just a society to make their lives, as decent as possible. And this is the way the child ends up living his life and checking out. It's just, as humanity, man, we just fail every single day, man. Watching people starve to death, watching people out of work and abusing each other. It's just weird. I hope that's not true. Man, that would be really disturbing. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. At 1:30, Michelle Kaufmann is going to join us from the Miami Herald. So we'll have a little fun with her. We'll talk a little Inter-Miami football, and we'll get into where they're at with the MLS, because that's a good thing that right now it looks like we're headed in the direction that we're going to get, football back. We're going to get basketball. We're going to get baseball. We're going to get soccer. We're going to get hockey back. So hopefully, I don't know how long these sports are going to be around. I hope the cases don't start going up, and I hope people don't get infected with the COVID-19 and somehow or another we can limit this thing. You just kind of fear that with us opening everything up, eventually, cases may start going up because people will not be as careful. I hope most of you out there are still take the same kind of precautions, man. Please take it the same way. I don't know if you saw this on COVID-19, on what could be, what could be a key to treating COVID-19? I don't know how many of you out there saw this, but if you are a cannabis user, did you know cannabis could protect you from COVID-19?
Okay, we got to go.
They have high hopes for the coronavirus breakthrough. A Canadian scientist believes it has found strains of cannabis that could help prevent or treat coronavirus infections. Researchers from the University of Lethbridge said a study in April showed that at least 13 cannabis plants were high in CBD that appeared to affect the ACE2 pathways that the bug uses to access the body. We're totally stunned at first, then we were really happy, one of the researchers says. The results, printed in the online journal Prints, indicates hemp extracts high in CBD may help block proteins that provide a gateway for COVID-19 to enter host cells. Kovacek's husband, Igor, suggested that cannabis could reduce the virus entry points by up to 70%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes. Therefore, you have more of a chance to fight it. Our work could have a huge influence. There aren't many drugs that have had the potential of reducing infection by 70 to 80%. While they stressed that more research was needed, the study gave hope that the cannabis is proven to modulate the enzyme, may prove plausible strategy for decreasing disease accessibility, as well as become a useful and safe addition to the treatment of COVID-19 in therapy. How about that? How about that?
Well, they're double happy because the guy said that we're happy.
And we're high.
They're using it, they're happy, and the results, they're happy. So double happy.
So they're high, and they're getting rid of COVID-19.
Spark one up. Keep COVID-19 at bay.
Now you guys understand? You roll up a fatty, and you avoid COVID-19. That's it.
Roll up a fatty, it'll make you happy.
That's it. No virus, just get a fatty. A fatty keeps the virus away. An apple keeps the doctor away. The fatty keeps the virus away. There you go. Listen, we provide useful information on this show. That's what we're here to do. We're here to provide useful information. Tommy Italian says, to all my Fin fans out there, take a second to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Yes, please. John Santos says, hey, the state effed up by taking away the electric chair. If you take someone's life, you have no rights, even if you suffer in your own death penalty. I'm with you, bro. I'm an eye for an eye guy. When I see this kind of stuff go on, I can't. There's no apologies for killing a child, bro. None.
You know, it's the one that I don't understand. The guy pleads guilty, so we know that why does he sit there for 2 years? Like, let's strap him down and get it done.
Yeah.
Like, wasting taxpayers' money. Man, if you're guilty and done, bye, see ya.
The cure of it all, cannabis. That's what Rosendo says. King Short says, sick side of a beautiful world. Tommy Italian says, laughing my ass off, cannabis, baby. Drubo says, oh, brother, you're going to blaze up anyways. Yeah, Spicoli's in the car waiting for me. Tremolio Houdini de Santillana Cruz. That's his name. I used to eat wings at Tom's NFL Club in Miami Springs. It was a big bar. Ted Hendricks hung out there a lot after he retired from football. He would get drunk as hell. Well, Tremolio, Bill and I would go. Well, Bill used to live at Tom's. He had I think he had like an apartment above Tom's somewhere. And so he lived there, but we used to hold our fantasy drafts there every year at Tom's NFL Club.
Ted is a friend, and, he liked to drink. He has changed.
Hey, he better. If not, he's dead. Ted will be dead if he keeps drinking. NorCal Dolphin, high hopes. Cannabis is the cure to many things. King Short says weed saves the world. G-Trap says light that fatty up. There you go. Yeah. Fatty keeps COVID away. Okay? Telling you. That's what it's all about.
Twist and shout.
That's it. Enjoy it, folks. Now don't now you can pass on that information as you pass on the doob. So as you pass on the doob, you say, here you go. So the COVID transferring in a doob doesn't go because you're killing it as you're smoking it. So there's social distancing can be disallowed during burning. Okay? I don't know. I think that's what it said there in that article. I don't know. I think that's what I understood. Forget social distancing, smoke weed.
Is this what you're piecing together and coming up as an answer?
I don't know. It's kind of what it looked like on that article. Hey, folks, smoke lots of weed, get together, kill the virus. There you go.
Hey, what are you doing over there? You're not allowed to smoke in public. Dude, I'm anti-COVID-19, bro.
Yes.
Here, take a toke.
I was thinking about this. So the NBA is on the verge of returning, right? Looks like we might be having some games in July. Looks like we got what? Today's what, the 22nd, right? Today's the 22nd, yes.
All day long, it'll be the 22nd, yeah.
So we've got about a little over 5-6 weeks, and then we're in July, and maybe we'll start getting some sports. I mean, that's going to be freaking awesome, dude. We finally get some sports. Even if we can't be in the stands this year, that's all right. At least it's a step closer, folks. We've been living without it. We need to get our jobs back. We need to get our careers back. We need to get our lives back on track. We need to get sports back on track. We just need to be as responsible as possible. That's all. Smoke a lot of cannabis and then, be clean. Wash your hands.
Can I throw a scenario at you that I heard? It was one of the reports. I can't remember where, but it struck me, and I'm like, wow.
Cannabis.
You ready?
Cannabis.
You're got your football team, blah, and you're in the meeting, and one of your quarterbacks comes down with corona.
There you go.
So
the Rona.
You've got the offensive coordinator, all the quarterbacks on the team, blah, and they've all been in the same. So they got to be quarantined. What do you do with your team?
Oh, easy. You spark it up and kill it. What? We just went through this, Bill. Okay? It's masks, it's tests, and weed.
We got to go to
every locker room in the country now. Look, when I used to go into baseball clubhouses, they had this little hole where they had all the gum, right? And all the bazookas or whatever the hell they were chewing. And so guys would walk by and grab their gum and their chew, not their tobacco. It was literally gum. Some of the media members would grab it too, which is so wrong. I never did that. But because it's not, why get in trouble for something stupid? And so anyway, what you got to do now is every locker room has got like a whole bunch of rolled J's. And then but remember, you got to do it like VSS West Pines does it with their CBD. Gummy bears, right? Because some guys may not be into burning. So you give them the gummy bears, you got the oil, you got the patches, you got all the different ways. That's it, bro. Everybody plays, everybody's high, everybody's killing the virus. That's all. I think I've solved it all.
It's funny the way you mentioned it, because
spark it up.
Do you remember extras back in the day and the way They
Supermarket Extra?
Yeah, and they had the big barrels of whatever, candy and this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you like take the
the shovel, yeah.
and weigh it. Can you imagine, like, in the future, there being all these barrels full of weed and, oh, hey, I want this one, and just...
Oh, scoop. Scoop it up. Definitely. Alexa V chiming in on the super chat, sending us a cute little sticker. She got a cat laughing with hearts. I love it. Thank you, Alexa. Very nice of you sending in the super chat.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, Alexa. I got an opportunity to play the dude-et.
There you go. You'll meet Alexa eventually. She'll be in Vegas with the rest of us because we all are going to Vegas for the Raiders game.
Okay? But it's not a Festivus for the rest of us?
Whether it's fans in the building or not by then, we're all in Vegas. Okay, folks? All right? Let's make the promise now. We all get together. We'll watch it at Tommy Rocker's if we have to. Well, it's Vegas. We can have a good time for a couple days, right? That's it. We all deserve a couple days in Vegas. After everything we've been through, they took away our draft. We were supposed to have our weekend and own the damn draft and own freaking Vegas, and we didn't get to. But in December, we will all meet in Vegas, and we will either be in the stadium doing the game or we will be at Tommy Rocker's. But either way, we'll all be together watching it in Vegas. Okay? So make your plans. Big O, did you see the drive-through possession they had planned at the Hard Rock for Don Shula? Yeah, for the viewing of the statue, yes. Yes, I did see that, yes. I saw it, which is really, really cool that they're doing that. It's a really nice thing. I don't know what we got to do something special for shoes, man. I hope they. I know Garfinkel and company are going to knock it out of the park. NorCal says, so I'm thinking it's okay to puff give. Well, maybe not. I'm still rolling my own. I'll roll you for a cure stick, Big O show and chatters. See you in San Francisco. Big O, what happened to the Patriots taping the Bengals last year? Dude, I have no idea. I don't think anything happened to that. I think if I remember correctly, there was nothing that was going to come from it. So, I know you guys keep sending me that text from different people. I don't think anything happened from it. And nothing was really going to happen that was going to affect. Look, guys, don't worry about that anymore. Tom Brady's out of the division. The Dolphins are headed in the other direction now. They're going up. They're going to get better. Forget about all this stuff in the past now. What matters now is the future. And the future is that the Dolphins are going to kick the Patriots' ass from here on out. That's what's going to happen. So forget about the past now. Remember what we just talked about? Can't live in the past? Forget about the past, man. And it's a buddy of mine called me a couple of days ago. He goes, man, but what about if we're this and that? And I go, dude, I'm not doing that, okay? I did that with you when I constantly saw Cam Cameron and Sperano and all these clowns that were coaching this team, and I was ripping this team constantly. That's not this team anymore. I'm not living in the past with this stuff. This is a different time, a different place. I don't care what happened with the Patriots in the past. I don't care about them stealing signals from the Bengals if they were or they weren't or whatever. Screw that, dude. From here on out, it's the Brian Flores show, dude. That's what I want. And that's what's going to happen from here on out. I'm telling you. Yes?
Are we trying to stay within the parameters of a half an hour?
Well, before we do that, let's give Omar Lopez a little love because he chimes in on the super chat with a sticker also. I love it. Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way. They were fantastic.
Super chat. I love it. Omar sends me a sticker with the, I think it's like a chicken, and he's got the fist bumps going on. I like the stickers. Those are cool. Oh, so now we have Dr. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy giving us COVID advice. Yes? Yeah? And Cheech and Chong. Yep. Oh, my husband Josh has met you before, I think, at Cerrusi's before. I couldn't go that day, but it was a while ago. Oh, okay. Okay. If he's the dude that sat with me and ate, then I know exactly who you're talking about. Because I remember meeting several people at Cerrusi's, but I remember one gentleman that went to meet me, and he sat down and while we were eating and all that.
Are you on Sirius tomorrow by chance?
Yes, we are.
8 to 11, the usual?
Yep.
Can we go to Cerrusi's post your show?
Yeah, why not?
Please, because, the seed, I would like to thank them. The seed has been planted. I need a Cerrusi's now.
Oh, okay.
So, tomorrow?
All right. Okay. Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you, sir.
At 11 when we get off? Hell yeah. Tommy Italian 305 for life says, can we get some Heat, Dolphins, and Marlins stickers? Yeah, I guess they, I don't know what kind of stickers they provide, but it doesn't look like they provide sports stickers. But Tommy Italian, thank you on the super chat once again. Tommy Italian 305 for life, always chiming in.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Thank you all out there. You guys are just absolutely amazing. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break because it is 12:34. We take a quick break. We are an hour away from Michelle Kaufmann. I got a bunch of things to talk about. Heat. There's a name out there that Heat fans have been interested in. Maybe that becomes available again. I want to talk a little bit more about a couple of other things going on in basketball that I thought were kind of interesting. I've got something that they're doing in baseball that is going to freak you out. It's going to freak you out to a point that I may want to do this, okay? And I would have to travel in order to do this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, man, I got a bunch of things. Another Brady story that I want to get into. A very good thing someone did for charity in the NFL. Got some music news also. Happy birthday to Morrissey today, born in 1959 on this date. Lead singer for the Smiths. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more right here on The Big O Show.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Big O Show. Big O Show.
All right, we ready to rock out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura Pembroke Pines. Come on out here, man. See Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto and Tony Stampone, all the amazing people out here. They will take care of you. If you own or lease an Acura, go see Jordan Ferber, Mike Chan, great people in the service center. I should know. I've been dealing with them for almost 10 years now. This is our 10th year, and we've bought and leased Acuras here for many years now. My wife, my daughter drive Acuras. So I would never tell you to buy or lease a vehicle where I wouldn't do it myself. You guys know that. And these are phenomenal people. So if you are coming out here, they can make you a great deal. They're celebrating their 12th anniversary. Make sure you tell them that I sent you if you come on out here to Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So the Nets have had internal discussions about a Bradley Beal trade. As you know, the Nets acquired Durant and Kyrie Irving. And Bradley Beal is a guy that's been talked about here in Miami also. And this is what the story says. Says that the Wizards have no plans to trade Beal. Now, Beal has said he doesn't want to be traded. The idea to pair Beal with a returned and healthy John Wall next season and win a lot of games in the East, that hasn't stopped other teams from planning to trade for Beal just in case things change. Kyrie Irving has pushed the franchise saying the Nets need a third star, and internally the Nets have talked about trading for Beal, according to Stefan Bondi from the New York Daily News. By the way, I love the Kyrie Irving thing of him saying that. Do you know why? Because Kyrie Irving, and I've always had this discussion with many people over the years who tried to sell me that Kyrie Irving is a superstar, and he's not. Kept telling him he's an all-star. The laziest thing is when somebody tells me, well, he hit the big shot in the finals. And it's like, so does John Paxson, and so does Robert Horry. Doesn't even make them stars or all-stars. And that's what Kyrie is. He's an all-star. He's never been a superstar in his life. And Bradley Beal is much closer to being a superstar than Kyrie Irving is. And Kyrie Irving wants Bradley Beal there because, yeah, they need it. And they need it because Bradley Beal is going to have more dog in him than Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving knows that by bringing Bradley Beal there along with Durant, it really takes all the pressure off of him. Kyrie Irving is a snake. Anyway, immersed in their championship window, the Brooklyn Nets are in the market for a third star and have internally discussed avenues of acquiring Wizards guard Bradley Beal. The Nets will also have to match salaries for any trade with Beal earning $29 million next season, assuming Kevin Durant and Kyrie are off limits. The Nets' best assets are Dinwiddie at 11.5, Karis LeVert at 16.2, and Jared Allen at 3.9. So that's how you get to that number. Okay? Miami, I'm talking about the Heat. If you have $29 million, okay, how do you match that? They're not going to want Iguodala, so don't start with that. They're probably not even going to want Goran Dragic, and that's $19 million. So Solomon Hill's 12, Kelly Olynyk's 12, Leonard is 11.2. These are all guys they're not going to want. Jay Crowder's 7.8. And then you've got Tyler Hero, 3.6. Adebayo's 3.4. Derek Jones is 1.6. And Kendrick Nunn is 1.4. The tradable assets don't even come close because you just don't have enough money. So then you'll have to trade all your tradable assets along with a Goran Dragic. So you'll have to give up like Goran, Tyler, Adebayo, and Jones. Something like that. You have to give away like 3 of your 4 guys along with Dragon. And, okay, you'll get the Dragon salary off, but you lose really a 6-man because he actually did a really good job as a 6-man last year. But then you lose all your young assets too. So does Bradley Beal make up for the loss of Dragic, Bam, Hero, and Nunn? No. Not even close. And if you're the Heat, you can't do that Because Adebayo, while you're not paying him any salary, he's an all-star already. So you can't trade Adebayo. And that's where this becomes so ridiculous for Miami at this point. They don't really have they can't trade their first rounder, but they have to wait till the night of the draft. So it could be the first rounder along with some of these young guys and one of the older guys. But it's going to be really hard, and you're not going to want to part with a hero. You're not going to want to part with Adebayo. So that's where it becomes counterproductive. It is really... You've got to find a team that has an older disgruntled star and that they're just dying to get rid of the guy, and they'll take on your other bad salaries just to accommodate the salary space. But they're also expiring contracts, which Iguodala is down the line, Solomon Hill, and all those kind of guys. That's the only situation. But Beal, it hasn't turned into a kind of toxic situation for the Wizards or for Beal. It's going to be tough. I would like to see Beal here so they can add another star, but I just don't know how it really ends up working and where logically it makes sense for Miami. That's my problem with it.
Oh, is it next year or the following year?
Following year.
The free agents.
Next year.
I'm kind of, I don't want to trade for any, because like you said, giving up, just wait for the free agent market to get loaded up with guys.
But it won't be a good free agent market next year. That's the problem. No. The year they have money it's the year after that.
So waiting 2 years. You know what?
2 more years down the line.
You know what, man? Rather than giving up some of our young guys that are developing, man, Yeah.
Because Adebayo now makes no sense. He's an all-star, but you can't trade him for anything because you're not paying him anything. Well, that's the beauty right now. I'll remember when Kyrie left the Cavs so he can show LeBron that he could lead a team. Look what the Bucks did to him in the playoffs last year. Yeah, Kyrie's a phony, dude. He's one of the biggest phonies that there are in sports. Tommy Italian 305 says, we're a top 3 East team for another year. Then we will get the Greek Freak. I would love to believe that, man. I would love to believe that. We kind of need Milwaukee to have like a really crappy postseason this year.
I love the fact that we're getting back basketball because, like we've talked about, to get this playoff experience for these young guys, man, that is so huge. If we don't get that playoff experience, man, you know what I mean? Yeah, we saw the guys and blah, but like you don't have that nugget, that playoff,
Right.
That would be like one hand tied behind your back. We didn't, we're not full strength next year.
I'm just trying not to laugh because Bromar Smelly and Alexa V are, they're talking. And so Alexa V says to him, "Hi, Smelly." Hi, Smelly.
You know what? It's okay to be smelly if you've been burning and keeping Corona away.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Bromar, okay. Bromar, Smelly, Cannabis. I got you. Okay. All right. So Bromar is the healthiest person in our group. Bromar and NorCal. Because NorCal is constantly burning during the show. So if Bromar is smelly because he's also constantly burning, those are 2 dudes right now that do not have COVID.
Like somebody walk up and be like, "Damn,
they're the healthiest guys out there."
You're smelly, man. You reek. Yeah, but it's green.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep. So all of us that were making fun of the podheads in high school, they were way ahead of us. They were way ahead of us with pain. They were way ahead of us for anxiety. They were way ahead of us for stress. They were way ahead of us with COVID. Like they knew COVID was coming. Why are you smoking cannabis? Because COVID is coming. And they knew. For years they knew. For decades they knew. Back in the 60s, the hippies knew COVID was coming. And they were preparing. How about that?
Bro, I love it. What are you doing over there? I'm burning. I'm being healthy.
I'm preparing for COVID. I'm protecting everybody from COVID. Can you imagine now you can like light up all over the place, and then when they tell you, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Hey, man, COVID's out there. I got to protect myself from COVID. I think that's important. I think that's that is the key to our existence. Marijuana. All right.
Stay safe. Burn a doobie.
Oh, God. It's so twisted. It's so twisted. I read that story, and I was laughing my ass off today. I thought that was great. I thought it was great. People are getting stoned, and they can stay away from COVID. I think it's awesome. I think it really is.
Like you needed another excuse, right?
Right. Exactly. You know? I was thinking about this with college football. And classes, universities have not committed to the fall yet. Some universities have already said they're going online for the fall. They don't want to risk students. They were talking about no football unless the students are in campus. Now they're giving, NCAA has given now the universities the go-ahead. Now it's up to the universities and the conferences themselves whether they want to play football with or without students on campus or not. This is the part that I kind of find twisted about all of this. Okay, are you ready for this? If the students aren't allowed to come back, but the players are, and they're there to play the game, you're basically sacrificing the football players that you're not paying because they're not pros. They're sacrificing their lives. They could be as carriers killing other people. But because of the almighty dollar and the billions that are brought in by television revenue from college football, the billions that will carry athletic programs from sea to shining sea, the billions that will pay for all your coaches, the billions that help to pay for administrators, yet the billions that none of those players will see. And yet, they are the ones that are being sacrificed. Because track and field, men or women's, you're not producing any money. The crew, men or women, you're sinking, baby. You produce no money. Baseball doesn't produce any money anywhere. Maybe there's 2 or 3 programs that cut a profit. Not many. Women's basketball, they're all losers except for a couple. We all know which ones they are. You know what I mean?
Football facilitates all the other sports. Without it,
men's football is a loser in a lot of, at FIU and FAU, they don't make any profits. They lose. So if you're in the Sun Belt and a lot of your teams are losing money, why would you keep playing? But it is interesting to me how the players are being sacrificed, because if you don't sacrifice the players and don't produce the money out of the football program, I read you a story about Akron already eliminating athletics. And I want you to understand this. COVID-19 is going to have more impacts on us in so many other ways. You saw all these people that got fired. There's a large percentage of them that will never be rehired again. People are going to learn how to streamline from all of this. They're going to learn, and they're going to try to learn because they've lost so much that they're going to try to learn to get by with less. And they will pound more work on other people. And because so many are out of work, they will take jobs and be overworked and underpaid. So universities across this country are going to eliminate sports that they know generate no revenue. But this is the perfect time, because of budget constraints, they will be able to eliminate these things. Because of financial losses, they will be able to justify the elimination of a lot of these sports. Some of them provide some kind of scholarships for kids. And it's the only way they would get an education. This is going to cause problems in all kinds of areas. And the fact that they're trying to get college football players on the field, don't kid yourselves. They're trying to get them on the field because they are the cash cows to so many things they do in universities. Because there's a ton of football programs that pay for themselves and pay for so many other things. It's interesting the sacrifice that they're attempting to make now. And you wonder, what would happen if a class action lawsuit took place now on behalf of college football players everywhere up against every university that wants to play football and say, well, wait a minute, you're willing to risk their lives, but you're not going to put students back out there. And why are you doing it? Simply because you need that TV money to pay for so many things in the university, but you're not willing to risk the average student, but you're willing to risk the athlete. And we all know there's a large portion of those athletes, they're not there for an education, man. Come on. Come on. So, unfortunately, they're delusional, and there's a large portion of them that think they're playing on Sundays. Most of them get heartbroken. Most of them they end up facing reality the day that they're done with college, and they find out that they were never good enough for the NFL. And they get depressed, and they didn't take advantage of when they were in school to get a degree, all of that. So that happens. We all know. But I just find the sacrifice kind of odd. That's all I'm saying.
You see how Notre Dame, what they did from the time frame? They're starting and they were the first ones to like, hey, we're doing this. I guess they're going to have kids at the campus. They're going to start their school fall in August, and they want to be out of there before Thanksgiving. And it's like, to avoid the flare-up. And it's like, they're talking about the fall. You do realize that the fall starts in October.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if we get them out of here before Thanksgiving, we'll keep them safe. It's like, you can't be that delusional.
I mean, if you were in South Florida, you can think that because it's like this in December. But not in South Bend, dude.
Right? I mean, come on.
The nights are cold already in the South Bend in October. November, forget about it. You got to have a sweater on every day in South Bend by November. So yeah, no, I'm with you. But this is, again, they have their own network, bro. So they got a lot of money on the line in Notre Dame, dude.
That's the only reason they're the only independent. They've got their own TV contract.
Yeah. And Notre Dame's kind of lucky too compared to others because they probably produce money on women's basketball. They probably produce slightly in men's basketball. I don't know about any of the other sports, but they probably produce more in some of their sports than most universities. And then obviously they have an alumni base that's just
think about incredible. The merchandising, man. How much do you think Notre Dame makes in merchandising in a year?
Sick. Dean G says, Big O, do you know what your show will be like Mondays, Tuesdays after Dolphin games? Meaning we will have certain guests, coaches, players, media types. We're certainly not going to have coaches on because that's not usually normal. We're not the flagship station, but we'll carry the press conferences like we normally do. We did that last year after games. We carried press conference. Actually, we do something that nobody does. We carry press conferences all throughout the week. Whenever the coach is on, we try to carry the press conference. So we do things that nobody else does because they can't. Because they've got to do radio, the lame, boring commercial way, and we got to get in all kinds of breaks and stuff. So we will have we will have coverage on. There's no doubt about that. Yes, that's the idea. But I mean, again, let's find out what the norm is, what kind of access we have. You know what I'm saying? Because it may all be virtual. And then one of the things that we want to do also is once COVID's done, if they give us access, we want to bring the show into the locker room. We want to go to games and post games and all that kind of stuff. So there are things that we want to do, obviously, to give you guys closer coverage. But first they've got to open those doors. And we've got to get past that. And I don't know if that's going to happen for a while, ladies and gentlemen. Without a vaccine, I don't know how you get past virtual right now. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a challenge for all of us. But if they give us access, then, yeah, we'll bring you as much as we can.
We'll do like they used to say back in the day, mountains to molehill coverage.
Yep, definitely. Big O, speaking of Doobies, have you been to a Doobie Brothers concert? Yes, I have. Been to the Doobie Brothers several times. Last time I saw them at the Classic East show, which was a 2-day festival at the new Citibank Field, I think it's called, for the Mets. And it was Doobie Brothers, Journey, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Fleetwood Mac, Eagles. I'm missing one more big band. Anyway, they were split up into 3-band sets. And the Doobie Brothers were, I want to say they were the opening act of the Night of the Eagles. Yeah, I think it was the Doobie Brothers. Man, I'm trying to remember who it was, because Journey closed out one of them, and the Eagles closed out the other, if I'm correct. I'm forgetting. I gotta look it up now. I gotta look it up.
Wasn't Michael McDonald supposed to be with them?
No, that's this year with their 50th anniversary.
And it's going to be rescheduled, I guess. Is that what the plan is?
Oh yeah, it's the 50th anniversary tour. Yeah.
We would have to take part in that, correct?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, with Michael McDonald. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Here it is. 2 nights, musical legends, August 2nd and 3rd in 2017. That's when I went. It was Doobie Brothers, Steely Dan, Eagles, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Journey, Fleetwood Mac. There you go. So, I'm sorry, Fleetwood Mac and the Eagles closed the 2 nights. It was Doobie Brothers, then Steely Dan, then the Eagles one night, then Earth, Wind, and Fire, Journey, and Fleetwood Mac. That's a pretty good concert, right? That's half decent right there. I'll tell you what was cool about that concert. Because you're in New York, you're at Citi Field, and you're watching the Eagles. And they did in a New York minute. And the stage had a big giant LED screen from one side to another at the stadium. And they had the New York skyline behind it. And when I saw the Eagles in South Florida during that year, they didn't play in a New York minute. So it was really cool to see it in New York. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So I thought that was actually really cool. And it was great to see that version of the Eagles. It was without Glenn Fry. I've seen the Eagles with Glenn Fry a whole bunch of times. Okay, before you send in the text, oh, what a shame you never saw the Eagles with Glenn Fry. No, I have. It's just that version was with his son and the country singer who was phenomenal, Vince Gill. He was great, man. Dean G chiming in on the super chat. Thank you, Dean G. Boom.
Wow.
Recent research has shown
super chat
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Dean G. Thanks, Big O. Great show as usual. Everyone that is on is the best. Bleeding Aqua and Green. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Yes. Everybody be safe. Stay home, actually. Okay? Stay home for Memorial Day weekend. Do what you've done for the last couple of months. Don't go out. Stay.
So no trip to, like, back in the day, South Beach or renting a hotel, or going down to the Keys.
Nope.
Remember those days, man?
Nope. Are the hotels open?
I would venture to guess probably not, right?
I don't
they
think
haven't,
there are
They
yet,
haven't
right?
gone to that level, no.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Every time you hear the Doobie Brothers, I don't know why, but romancing the stone. Michael Douglas in the plane, and he's burning all the weed, and he grabs the thing. Oh, man, the Doobie Brothers, bro. When did this happen?
Right. Love it. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. And again, thanks to Ray Grulon, who is always supporting our show, watching, listening, super chatting, and he brought us this Star Wars Darth Vader, which, we're going to it's a collector's item, and we are going to add this one to our studio. So you guys continue to dress up the studio and add your flair to the studio. I was going back and who I was going back and forth with on LinkedIn the other day? I was going back and forth with Jay Fiedler. And so I send him a video. I go, hey, man, so what do you think about the studio? He sends me back a text. He goes, hey, yeah, really nice SI magazine, the Kozar Merino SI that I have in the studio. And I go, dude, that's what you noticed in the studio? Look again. And he goes, I don't know what you're looking at. He goes, I don't know what you want me to find. And I go, look at the bottom right corner. And then he comes back at me with the LOL and starts laughing. He goes, is that my bobblehead? And I go, yeah, bro, that's your bobblehead.
That's awesome.
His agent found it right away. I send it to Brian. You met Brian Levy at I think it was at the East West Shrine,
yes,
I think it was at the East West Shrine where he was at, and I sent him a video too. I said, hey, what can you notice in that in my studio? And he noticed it. He sent it back right away. He goes, is that a Jay Fiedler bobblehead? And I go, yeah, that's a Jay Fiedler bobblehead. So yeah.
We probably should take a break so we can have a decent segment leading into Michelle.
Yes. We got Michelle Kaufmann at 1:30. I got a couple things that I want to get into, a couple of music notes. I got one thing that a funny story about an athlete and his girlfriend. That one's hilarious. That's next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, let's go. We are ready to rock. Yes, we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura Pembroke Pines, like we are every Friday. Come on out and join us. Don't forget that Moody's Dental is a proud sponsor of our program, Invisaligns, implants. You want to get your teeth cleaned. If you're in pain right now, you need an emergency, please call them. 305-821-0231. They will take care of emergencies. 305-821-0231. But listen, you're looking to get that cavity, maybe a root canal, whatever it is, call them. Call Eric Mudias and family. State-of-the-art equipment. They are just amazing people. I should know. I've been dealing with them now for months, straightening out my teeth with the Invisalign, which is just awesome. You can do it too, man. 305-821-0231 for moodyasdental.com. All right, so it is never good to pull the you know who I am card, or do you know who I am married with, or who I'm involved with, or do you know who I am, all that other stuff. Aaron Judge's girlfriend, Samantha Braxiak, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, she apparently had a little too much to drink and was arrested for DUI. Now, she ended up realizing what she was doing, and she ended up pulling out that card that we talked about. Now, I want you to hear the incident and listen to Samantha, who got arrested for DUI, and we'll get a little bit into this subject here and a couple of other things to spin off from the Yankees. Go ahead.
You know you don't have any headlights on. That's why I stopped you.
Headlights?
Yeah, your headlights aren't on at all.
What do you mean?
On Frank 36
You know
to Tom
why?
31.
It's because I just got my car service, and that's why. I'm so sorry. Is it on now?
It looks like they might be on now.
Okay.
So, okay.
I was panicking. I was like, wait a minute, there's cop lights behind me, and I was like, I need to hang up now.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was like, are you okay? I was like, there's a cop behind me?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Looks like they're on now. How much do we have to drink at Mastro?
Just two things of wine.
Just 2 things of wine?
Yeah.
Regular size glasses?
Regular size.
When did you finish your last one?
What time is it right now?
Well, it's
11?
Probably 11? Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you heading to now?
I'm heading home.
Heading home.
Yeah.
What I'm going to have you do is take a big deep breath, wrap your lips around here, and then exhale for me, okay? Here's the thing is that you keep on mentioning about work.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be able to make it to work in the morning. Okay, right now
you're arresting me right now.
That's right. Here, listen to me real quick. It's only about midnight. You're only going to be with us for about 2 or 3 hours, and then you'll be released. So you keep on saying you got to get to work in the morning. You'll still have that ability. You're not going to be in jail all night. Okay, right? Only convictions are on your record. Okay.
Do you understand like what you're doing right now?
I'm in this right now. My boyfriend is not like in the spot where I should be like having this happen. He's a public figure. So like me being arrested for like having 2 glasses of wine is not okay.
Samantha, here's what you have to understand is you're not a bad person.
I know I'm not a bad person. Like, you don't understand. Like, you don't know who my boyfriend is.
You're absolutely right. I have no idea who he is.
And this is going to be so bad.
But what you also have to understand is that it's not going to directly affect them.
But it's going to affect me, and I'm going to get harassed for it.
What does he do? Does he own the company, or what is he?
He plays baseball for me.
Okay.
So this is not good. I'm just trying to get home. I go to work at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Who's your boyfriend?
Aaron Judge. So bad.
Well, there's so many things to all of this, okay? Listen, she's young. She's in her 20s. I think she's 26, I think it says there. And so, look, we're young. We all do stupid things. She did something really stupid. She got behind the wheel. And let me tell you something. When they ask her how much she had to drink, she had quite a bit because she blew a .169 and a .181. She was charged with extreme intoxication. Not just regular DUI, extreme DUI. She didn't have just 2 glasses of wine. 2 glasses of wine aren't going to make you that. Unless you weigh maybe 62 pounds and you haven't eaten in 4 days, then maybe that might affect you that way. But you can tell how drunk she is when the officer, do you have that part there, Bill? Go ahead. The officer asks her, hey, do you know how much you had to drink? Go ahead, Bill. Fire it off. Okay. There we go.
We have to drink at Mastro.
Just too much. 2 things of wine.
Just 2 things of wine?
Yeah.
Regular size glasses?
Regular size.
Just too much. Had 2 drinks. Yeah, she was toast already at that point. And the only part that I felt bad for her, because I don't feel bad for her. She drank. She got drunk. She got behind the wheel. I'm glad they stopped her. She might have killed somebody. Okay? Because clearly she was toasted. Out of her mind. And she's driving without headlights. She doesn't even know that the lights aren't on. That's how drunk she is. And she's on the phone chatting with her friend while she's drunk. So clearly she can't do all the reacting that she would normally could do maybe if she was straight. The only thing I felt bad for her is, you know when you got in trouble in school and it wasn't because you got spanked by the assistant principal. You didn't care about that. You cared about the phone call to your house. That's the phone call. You didn't care if the assistant principal, the PE teacher, if they all paddled you and your parents never found out, you would take that every time. But the fact you knew that the phone call was going to go to your house, and after you got paddled, you were then going to get your ass kicked at home, even worse than the paddling. You know what I'm talking about, those of us that were raised in the old-fashioned way, because it's not like that anymore.
Bro, you lose the car, you lose the phone, you're in your room, bro.
Yeah, and by the way, the phone we're talking about is like the phone in your room, not a cell phone in those days. It was just if you were lucky to have a phone in your room that was unplugged and gone, and that's it, and you didn't have a phone in your room to talk and all that.
Oh, yeah, they'd
stuff.
love to go over there and flip open the jack and snap it and just walk out with your phone.
That's it. And so your lifeline was gone there, too. And that was all the social media you ever had was that phone right there in those days.
Oh,
so,
dude, your life was done.
Yeah,
it was over.
It was over. And so now she has to go face Aaron Judge. That's the only part that I felt bad for her because you now thoroughly embarrassed your boyfriend. You know? And now he's got to carry the burden. And being a star, it's tough enough as it is because the whole thing is on you anyways. You're Aaron Judge. If your team doesn't have a good year, they're going to blame you. They're going to blame you for everything because you're Aaron freaking Judge. And so now, you know, your girlfriend has to also, like, add to your burden. You know what I'm saying? And I can't imagine the crap she must have felt like having to face him. That's the only part of this that I kind of felt sorry for her because we all know what it's like to disappoint somebody we love. It's
just too much. 2 things of wine.
It's not fun. It's not fun. You've done it. I've done it. We all. It is one of the things that eats at you when you disappoint somebody you love and it hurts you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. You crashed their car, you cheated on them,
Can we
you
describe
got DUI, you embarrassed it. However it is that you hurt that person you love, you know what I'm talking about. You go through this level of guilt after that it's worse than the crime.
When it happens and there's that panic
Right.
and that, damn, oh
you can't
man,
get it back.
and you're like,
Can't get it back.
You know what it is? You have no control.
Can't get it back.
You can't you can't do nothing about it. You're in a place that you're stuck and you're stuck. That's it. Done.
And you can't do anything, man.
And yeah, the
it's a shame.
panic, your body, man. I can see you know how it is. Like you're punching the dashboard. Man, I can't what? Ah!
Yep. So and that is the only part that I kind of felt sorry for her, because now she has to face Aaron Judge and explain that to him. And that's and then they're going to bust his balls too on all that. And so that also comes with the territory, because that's what guys do. On a separate Yankee story, I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't really care about the Yankees, to be honest with you.
I do.
But
I do.
But I do respect the history and everything that goes with it. And the accomplishments obviously cannot be ever downplayed. But and it's not something that I'll go to a Yankee game to just go to one because maybe, I want to check out Yankee Stadium and say that I've been there, or go to Boston Red Sox, go to Green Bay, go to Lambeau, whatever, that kind of stuff. But here's an event that I might want to be a part of just to say that I did this one time. So baseball now is on hold, right? And when it starts, it probably be without fans. There's a chance that they're going to transform the Yankee parking lot into a spot where folks can congregate with their cars to watch movies and listen to live music, experience car-side food service from local New York vendors. Marco Shalma, the organizer for the event, is trying to make it happen, as he's dubbed it Uptown Drive-In Experience, with hopes of launching it July 4th and having it run through August. The biggest hurdle is ensuring the event is compliant with city regulations. Tickets will be charged per vehicle, not on sale yet, as final details, dates, and partnerships are still being worked out. How it'll work out: Uptown Drive-In will have a vehicle reservation system, requires cars to park 10 feet apart, feature giant movie screens, provide live music streamed throughout car radios, and have sanitized restrooms available. How about that? So remember we talked about a couple weeks ago that theaters may have a problem now, and so drive-in theaters may become a thing. I got to tell you something. I might want to fly into New York, rent a car, and go do a drive-in at Yankee Stadium's parking lot, just to say, I did a drive-in movie at the Yankee Stadium parking lot. That would be actually pretty cool, because one, you're doing it in the city that's the most crowded that there is. I don't know if it's, not the world, but it's one of them in the world. Definitely in the United States. And you find a way to go see a drive-in movie in the Bronx, to go see it at Yankee Stadium. I think that would actually be cool. I would like that experience. What the hell? I told you guys last time that we talked about this. I hope drive-ins make a comeback. I really do. I used to love going to drive-in theaters. I still go to the swap shop one with my wife. We don't go as much. We used to go a lot more years ago. Now we don't go as much. We probably go maybe once a year or something like that. We'll go to it. But I love going to the swap shop. And then obviously back in the day, used to do it plenty, when I was young, when it was actually more common back in the day. But Yankee Stadium drive-in, I think that's actually a pretty cool idea, man. I would like to do that. That one I wouldn't mind. All right, 786-322-1037. 1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. That, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. Let me see what we got here.
Just too much. Two things in one.
Just too much. Just too much. That's what she had to drink. Too much. Cute girl. I'll say that. I'll give Aaron credit. He picked himself a cute one. She had a bad night, but he picked a cute one. I'll give him that.
Look, she feels horrible but she needs to have that feeling like an hour and a half before she gets in the car. You know,
yeah,
and just Uber home, man.
Yeah, she screwed up. The best thing was that she got pulled over and she didn't hurt anybody. That's the best thing. And again, I don't feel sorry for any. We're all gonna look. Lots of us will make them. I've never had a DUI, but any of us can make that mistake. And you think that you're all right and you can drive and you shouldn't have, and it's a human error. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. That's all. The part of hurting somebody you love and embarrassing them, that's the toughest part of it all, man, I think. Big O, I don't expect fans in the stands by early mid-2021 or 22 time period. You might be right. I mean, right now we're all playing that guessing game at this point. None of us really know when the hell we're going to come back and when they're going to have fans. But we're still going to go to Vegas no matter what in December.
You kind of can't get those large crowds until you have a vaccine or a cure, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yep. Yeah. That's the only way that you're really going to get away with it, unfortunately. But that's the way it is, man. Kendrick Perkins told a very interesting story why Rondo really hates Ray Allen. And I thought this was kind of we've had this whole watching the Celtics hate Ray Allen thing. And we talked about it yesterday that Paul Pierce hates LeBron because LeBron went to Miami and pretty much ended the Celtics run. And then adding insult to injury, Ray Allen leaves them and joins them, right? So Perkins was telling the story on why Rondo hates Ray Allen. And it's not what you might think. Go ahead.
It was a point in time where Rondo was up there. It's probably like top 5 point guards in the league. You know, you had Derrick Rose, you had Chris Paul, and then the next person that was coming to mind was Rondo, like Tony Parker, but Rondo was right there. He was making multiple All-Star games, breaking assist records, getting triple doubles, things to that nature. And it was the 2009, 2010 season. No, 2008, 2009, where it had came up that, New Orleans was, Chris Paul wanted out, I guess, and there was rumors starting to circulate, and it was brought to the table that, what if we trade Rondo and get CP? Mm-hmm. And KG and Paul was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Like, as great as CP is, man, we just won the championship. We rocking with dope. Like, he giving us everything that we need. But Ray was like, nah, let's do it. And what happened was Rondo ended up finding out about it, and that was it from there. It was even to the point where we bought boxing gloves to the gym, and they got on boxing gloves. Ray and Rondo, like, they put on the gloves, and we made them box it out for about 2
No way, man.
You guys had a fight club?
Yeah, we used to have
Can't talk about it.
We used to have fights all the time. But that's the thing, I think, and Rondo never got over it.
There you go. And I got to tell you something. Okay, Rondo didn't get over it. Rondo is a professional a-hole. He's been that from the get-go. And I know that he has had some good moments, too, as a teacher. But Rondo was never offensively what you needed in a point guard. And it worked with those guys because he had all those guys to produce the offense. But Ray Allen was right. Ray Allen was, you get rid of Rondo and you bring in CP3. At that time, freaking 12 years ago, that would have been a smart move. That would have really made the Celtics a power at that time. Because CP3 is a guy that can score, he can defend, and obviously he's a great point guard himself. And he's a way better offensive player than Rondo ever was, will be, can dream of, whatever. Not even close. And that's funny that I understand Rondo getting mad and being bothered by it, but the rest of the guys in that team should have been just like Ray Allen, like, yeah, that's the move to do, bro. Hey, Ray Allen left Milwaukee because he wanted to win, and then he left Boston because he wanted to continue to win. So he was going to be ruthless about this. Ray Allen, just like that shot against San Antonio, that he was going to be ruthless and was going to beat you with an open shot, same thing here. He was going to make the move that was better for him and for the team. And it sounds, rude to say, oh, well, we just won with Rondo, we're going to get rid of him. Well, you're getting rid of him for a player that's much better, a Hall of Famer. And in that time, you're talking about a guy that's in his peak. I don't know. I easily would have made the trade for CP3, man, if I could make it.
With the number of issues that Rondo's had, we could say that this guy's a problem child, correct?
No, but forget that, dude. CP3 was a much better player.
Yes.
And the Celtics,
no doubt.
You probably end up keeping Ray Allen around if you have CP3 along with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying.
My thing is, dude, Rondo's got an issue, man. That guy's got issues. He's a problem child.
I get it, but there was nothing to be mad at. Outside of Rondo, everybody else should have been with Ray Allen like, yeah, get rid of his ass and let's bring in a better player. We got a chance to build a dynasty. If I'm a Celtics fan, that's what I'm thinking of right now. Like, wow, we could have had CP3 instead of Rondo, taken in a heartbeat. Rondo's an excellent facilitator, but that's where it ends. And he's a decent defender, not a great defender, but his offensive game is terrible. Weird. All right, Michelle Kaufmann is going to join us next. We're getting closer and closer to a little MLS action. Let's talk a little football with Michelle Kaufmann from the Miami Herald next.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Radio Show.
We are back. All right. We promised you that Michelle Kaufmann would be joining us to talk a little football. And, of course, she works for the Miami Herald. You can follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I can't complain. We're out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines having some fun. So how are you getting ready to make the transition from COVID back to sports again?
I am. How did you know? I'm actually, Monday will be my first day officially back at sports. But I did just file a story that was just posted a few minutes ago on Luis Robles. It's a little business soccer story. He invested in an e-gaming betting site, an e-gaming gambling site, totally legal. It's called Luckbox, Luckbox.
Mm-hmm.
They're in 100 countries, and people are increasingly more and more betting on esports, on professional esports gaming. So he said that he discovered during this pandemic just how passionate his teammates and a lot of other people are about esports. So he was a finance major, economics major, something in college. He likes to diversify his portfolio, and he decided to invest in this company, Lookbox, which is based out of England, and it's in 100 countries. So I just wrote a story about it. If people want to check it out, on MiamiHerald.com. Also on my Twitter feed.
That is awesome. So it looks like Orlando is the place for the MLS. Is that what's going to end up happening?
That is what they're talking about. The main plan that I've been hearing, and I am hearing that they're going to announce their plan next week. So it's going to be a good time for me to return to sports. I'm hearing that they're going to reveal their plans sometime next week. And, from what I've heard, it's going to be the ESPN Orlando plan. There are various, one of them is like a tournament type format where they play a tournament there and then eventually return to the home stadiums, later on to resume regular season. This is basically just to get things going, to get them training as teams again, and to play sort of, a World Cup format, round robin style tournament. It's almost like a preseason, honestly. It's almost like a Cactus League, Florida League type baseball spring training type thing where they would all get together in one place, but they will be sequestered. Nobody else will be allowed to be there. I read some details in a report about in the Athletics, somebody got a hold of a memo that was being passed around the league, and it was very, very detailed about, how often they're going to be tested, about how separated everybody has to be. Nobody is going to be allowed to be there other than very essential staff, just the players, the coaches, 2 trainers, 1 media relations person, 1 content provider for the team. That's it. And then a few people from ESPN to broadcast. But it's going to be very limited. They're going to limit it to 45, according to this memo, 45 people per team. That's it. And they're going to be very, very heavily scrutinized and sequestered and, temperature taken 1 million times, COVID tests every, whatever amount of time. So it's going to be very complicated, to be honest. But the word is that next week we are going to finally find out what they're going to do. But this is the plan that I've heard the most floated around lately.
Are they going to allow you guys to cover it, or is it all going to be virtual?
I don't see any. In the memo that I saw, there was no mention of media other than ESPN broadcast crew. There was no mention of media. It just said each team was going to have 1 public relations person and 1 content provider. From the team. It didn't seem like an independent content provider. So I don't know. I mean, if we're not allowed to get anywhere near anything, then, I'm certainly not going to go and stand outside the gate of ESPN and watch the buses go by to the hotel, So I don't know. I really don't know what the coverage plan is going to be.
Yeah, that's.
But the games will be televised. The games will be televised, so people can see games on TV, but there won't be any fans. There will be no atmosphere. It's going to be weird, just like the Bundesliga, which started last weekend. There are games, but it's not the same. I
don't even know if the Herald's going to be comfortable, even if they could sending you guys somewhere there for a couple weeks, a month or two or whatever. Maybe even the Herald doesn't want to put you guys in that position either. I don't even know how's the Herald reacting to all of this, right? Because everybody's
they're
always
leaving
gotta worry
a lot
about
of it.
damn lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
lawyer's
they're
gotta
really.
work.
Yeah, the employers have been the Herald has been very understanding with us. Any assignment that we get, if we're not comfortable with it from a health standpoint, we can tell our editor, and they've been very accommodating. Different people have different family situations, different housing situations of who's staying with them, and so on. And, so the Herald has been very good about if you're not comfortable with some assignment, then you just tell them and they'll either find somebody else or they'll find a way to do it virtually or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I would have to, if they do say that they're allowing limited media, I mean, I am a beat writer of the biggest paper in the town, so I'm sure that I would be high on the list for the Inter Miami. Then the question would be, how do I personally feel about it? And then, based on what the conditions are and what the protocol is, am I comfortable with it? And then I would have to present it to the Herald and tell them what I think. So I don't know, but I think the ball is going to start rolling next week. I really kind of feel like everything is after Memorial Day. Like everyone kind of wanted to get through May. I'm just getting this feeling like it was announced today that Miami Beach is opening, the hotels and beaches on June 1st.
Okay.
So I think everybody wanted to get past May, get past Memorial Day, and then start planning for, June 1st and July. I think it's sort of an unspoken, seems to be trend of, the quarantine was basically started mid-March. It went to mid-April. It went to mid-May. It's going to go to June. So it'll be 2.5 months of quarantine, basically, and then things really start opening up a little bit more on June 1st. So I think sports leagues are on the same timetable. Everything I keep hearing, and even my daughter's college, they said that they're going to open, but they're not going to announce their plans until sometime in mid to late June. So, I think June is a big month for everybody, whether it's in sports, education, business, city officials. In June, they're kind of making big decisions, and MLS, from what I'm hearing, is going to announce their plans sometime soon, very soon.
All right. So Michelle, and we're talking with Michelle Kaufmann, of course, from the Miami Herald. Michelle, this might be a little bit of an unfair question because you may not have the information, or maybe you do, which, you're magical like that, and you may have it for us. The 2 international slots that they were going to add, they were talking about it happening in June or July, but because of the pandemic, has this been a detriment to that addition and it won't happen, or will that not get in the way of them acquiring those pieces in the next month and a half here like they talked about? What do you know about that?
Well, the thing about those pieces is they definitely are shopping for 2 players. There's no question. They've been in contact with people. They're negotiating. They do want to add 2 key players to the team. They feel that they're 2 players short of where they want to be. That was always the plan, and that continues to be the plan. The thing right now is there are so many financial variables that are up in the air. Number one being, what kind of money does Inter Miami have to spend at this point? At this point, they were expecting to be, a team that's hosting home games and selling jerseys and selling concessions and, a full running business. And it hasn't been. They haven't made any money at all, and they invested, a lot of money in that complex in Fort Lauderdale. So I don't have, I'm not privy to their books. So I don't know if if their cash flow is much, much smaller than what they expected, then I'm not sure how much they have to spend on those 2 players as opposed to before. But on the flip side of that, a lot of the teams in Europe, particularly in Spain and Italy, which were hit very hard by COVID, some of those clubs, even the biggest clubs there, took major financial hits. Players had to take huge 50 and 60% pay cuts. So those players may be cheaper to get than they were back then. Some of those clubs may be looking to get some transfer fees, even if it isn't the number that it would have been, 6 months ago. So I think it could go both ways. I mean, Inter Miami is losing money, but those clubs over there are also losing money, so the players may be cheaper. I'm just not sure how much money Inter Miami has to spend at this point since the league has been hemorrhaging money since March 13th.
Yeah, and they spent a lot in that. I know exactly what they spent in that stadium. They spent a lot. What people don't realize is that's a USL 1 stadium, and then they made it so it can accommodate the MLS. So they had to put so much money into it to upgrade it because think about it. In a couple of years when they do eventually move to Miami Freedom Park, that stadium there is going to have to be carried by international matches and concerts and events because a USL 1 team is never going to put more than 200 people in that stadium. And you saw it. That stadium now is, wow, man. It is first class.
Yeah, it's a very nice stadium. Yeah, I think they spent I think it was like $140 million.
A little more than that, actually.
Yeah, so, but a lot. A huge investment.
A lot, yes.
And so far, not one fan has been able to step foot in it, So, those are the questions that are going to have to be asked in the next few weeks, of management. Like, have they, with all of the money that they invested and all of the, all of their expectations that they had, not just on the field, but off the field, financially and everything else, all of those expectations and numbers, I'm sure, have changed drastically because of this. So that's going to affect their spending power. But on the other side, like I said, a lot of those other clubs in Europe were hit very, very hard. So, it may work out that they can get a player that they didn't think they could get because of this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting how this thing's going to turn out. Let's see. They have spent a ton of money, and I know that they want to be great, and they want to be great as soon as possible. This is just one of those challenges that none of us saw coming, and it has thrown a curve to all of us, man. It doesn't matter what business we work for. It has affected everybody,
business.
Man. Yeah, every business.
Every business. There's such a domino effect. Every single business, everybody. I feel lucky that actually journalism business, as bad as it is right now, there is a real hunger for news. So, we don't have advertisers because companies don't have money to buy ads anymore, but there is a hunger for news, and we've actually had an increase in our online subscriptions because people do want to be informed, and so we've had a little bit of an uptick, not anything substantial, not huge, but, promising anyway that people still care and want to read, responsible, reliable news. So they're, looking to newspapers because there's just so much misinformation and so many sources out there, and you don't know what to believe and what's right and what's not. And so I think people are investing a little bit, at least smart people, in reading some of the coverage that we're providing. But, in general, I feel very blessed to still be employed. I really do, even though I've been writing business stories. I have not been doing sports. I've been covering the tourism industry. I just did a story on Airbnbs. Just yesterday, I had a story on the Miccosukee and the Seminole. I did a story on the Seminole Hard Rock Casino, what's going on with that, and how much money have they lost, and what's going to happen when they open up, and when are they opening up. And so, every single industry is affected. Everywhere you turn, somebody's affected. So sports is no different.
Yeah, it's been a rough time, man, for all of us, and hopefully we can find a way to bounce back. The scary part is that I think some of these jobs won't come back because I think a lot of these companies, because they lost so much, they're going to streamline as much as possible, and because so many people are going to be desperate and out of work, they will take jobs that are going to be underpaid and overworked. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and I know some people who own restaurants, and they're already questioning. I don't know if I can reopen. To just have 5 tables in my dining room, and people are not. It's not like people are flocking out just because they opened. They can open doors, but that doesn't mean people are going.
I'm
so
not
far
going
they opened earlier.
I don't know about you. I'm not going anywhere. How about you?
They opened,
right?
Yeah, they haven't. No, they opened early this week, and they opened Monday, and it's Friday, and we haven't been to a restaurant yet.
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing. They're trying, and I totally understand. These are people who need money. All their employees need money, but it's going to take a little bit of time for people to feel comfortable.
Heck, didn't the COVID cases go up today or yesterday?
Well, they go up because there's more people testing. So, yeah, the cases go up, but the death rate is not. The death rate is going down.
It's not, okay, so but the testing, that's the only thing I'm afraid of, that when we put more people on the street, does the trend go the other way now? That's the only, I'm just hoping we can keep the death rate down and keep it trending in that direction, and then we'll stay in a.
I thought I saw yesterday on CNN they had like 17 states that saw an uptick. There's 7 that have stayed status quo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
what happens as things open up.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next step is we wait till early June. No specific date yet in early
Well,
June.
next
when the
week,
MLS.
I told you. Well, next week they're supposed to announce their plans next week. So maybe by the time we speak, maybe by next Wednesday, maybe on Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, they're going to make their big announcement about what their plan is. So let's stay in touch, and as soon as they announce their plan, we can discuss it in detail.
And one more thing, interesting that Orlando's going to be home to the NBA and the MLS.
Yes.
How about
yes.
that?
Disney. Well, Disney is very smart. Let's not. Disney is always very smart, very business savvy company, and they've got ESPN. They have Disney. Those two companies stand to gain a lot by having the NBA and MLS. There are 2 leagues broadcasting games from there, using their fields, using their facilities, using their hotels for, in the case of MLS, there are 700 players alone, plus all the other staff. So, if each team, there's 26 teams, and if each one is bringing 45 people, Dave, do the math. I don't know. 26 times 45. Who can do the math? I'm very bad at math. 26 times 45. My husband is figuring it out. Oh, no, he's not. He's not figuring it out. Okay. Well, whatever that is, it's a lot of people. 26 times 45. I think it's a lot of people. I think it's like 1,500 people, maybe. 700 players plus about the same number of staff.
1,170.
Okay, 1,170 people for MLS, and, for NBA, I don't know if it would be similar. They have fewer players, but I don't know how many entourage people they're going to allow for their teams. So, you're talking about a couple thousand people that will be using their hotels, using their facilities, eating all their meals there because they're not going to be allowed to go anywhere. They're going to be sequestered by Disney. It's going to be the equivalent of being on a Disney cruise on the ground in Orlando. They're going to be eating Disney, sleeping Disney, and then playing their games at the Disney ESPN Wide World of Sports facility. So, it's definitely a moneymaker for Disney and for ESPN, and they've lost a ton of money. I mean, we have Disney World closing, the number of, I think, 100,000 jobs were lost by Disney. Yeah. So, it's a smart move by Disney and ESPN to try to do everything they can to get the leagues to go there. And it makes sense. I mean, for soccer, they have 17 fields. All of them are fitted for cameras. They have the ESPN Broadcast Center is right there on site. They have 8 editing bays, so they can send feed directly to Bristol from there without any problem. So, it makes perfect sense. And basketball too. They have basketball facilities there. You've got the Magic's facilities, you've got UCF, and then you have all the Disney facilities. So, it seems to make sense, but it's very complicated. The fact that everyone's going to have to be tested, sequestered, families are not allowed to go, no media probably will be allowed to go. It's going to be complicated.
Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports, and of course, catch her exceptional work at the Miami Herald like I do. Subscribe to it like I do. Support local journalism like I do. And
thank you.
Yes, always, Michelle.
Yeah, yesterday, I'll just tell you this one anecdote. Yesterday I was on, this neighborhood, Next Door Neighbor, whatever it's called. It's like an app, and you find out things about your neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, Next Door, I think it's called. Anyway, so we have that, and we like to look on it. You never know, you need a roof or you need someone to fix your gutters. You post on there and you get, 8 million recommendations from your neighbors. But anyway, yesterday, everybody was wondering what happened with AT&T. What happened with AT&T that 2 nights ago, everybody's Wi-Fi and cable and everything was screwed up, and everybody was writing on that board, what's going on? Do you have AT&T? Yeah, I have AT&T. Mine isn't working either. So anyway, the Miami Herald, yesterday we did a good comprehensive story, spoke to AT&T, found out exactly what happened. So I posted on there, I just said, here's what happened with AT&T, and I posted the link. And then someone immediately writes and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to the Miami Herald, and I'm sure most of the people on here don't subscribe either. So would you be able to just summarize the article for us?" And, I had to bite my fingertips. I did not reply. But, I mean, you know what? You're interested in the information. You want to know the information, but you want it handed to you for free. That's like me, going to a restaurant and saying, "I really love the food in this restaurant. I would like some. Can you just give it to me, please?" I'm not going to pay for it. I would just like you to give it to me. It's ridiculous.
Can I add something really cool that you guys are doing, because I am a subscriber? You guys are adding. You have the audio to it now. You guys can actually, for those of you out there that you might be too lazy to read, you can actually hit play, and a lot of these articles are actually recorded now, and you have the audio of the article. I find that, I think I've done it one time. I don't really do it myself, but I think it's a really cool feature to have in today's world, and especially if you're driving, you can listen, you can Bluetooth it into your radio, and you can, you can have the article read to you if you want. So the subscription goes a lot farther than the average subscription back in the day. You guys are doing a lot.
No, and you got news flashes. You get news flashes whenever there's, like they just decided to open Miami Beach.
Yeah.
You get a breaking news, notification on your phone. You get boom, Miami Herald, Miami Beach to open June 1st. So I mean, I think we're definitely providing a service. We're providing news and information. If people are interested and want to know the information, then I'm sorry, you're going to have to pay for it, just like we pay for every other product. We don't expect to go to a store and get a shirt for free, a pair of shoes for free, food for free. So why should we get information for free? It's not free. Someone has to pay to produce it.
You guys got to work for it and craft it and put it all together. Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes behind this damn thing, of course. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and
you're in the media.
And I got to add one more thing. You don't charge a lot. So let's not make it ridiculous here. You guys, I forgot what the price is, but it's really, for a year, it's a joke, actually, what you guys are providing for a year, man. And it's great.
Right. And if you just want sports, I'll just make the plug right here, because since I have a captive audience. But if you just want sports, let's say you don't care about the other news and you really just want to follow Miami sports, you can get a sports pass, which is just the sports news, for $30 a year, which I believe it comes to 8 cents a day. And oh, and Dave said, tell them about the Ginsu knives. Okay, so and that's not all. No, anyway, the point is, everyone's suffering, and I get it. And if you don't have disposable income, I totally get it. But, even in good times, people were starting to expect news for free, which is our fault in our business, because we went online for free and people got into the habit of we have a whole generation of people who have never paid for their news. They just go online, they go on Google, type something, and the information pops up. And then when they see a paywall, they get pissed, and they try to find it some other place they can get it for free. So we've created it in our business, and I blame ourselves. I don't blame the consumers. We've trained the consumers to expect the news for free, and now newspapers are folding and media sites are folding, and now we're complaining when we created it ourselves. But this is not a sports conversation. This is a journalism conversation.
Right.
So sorry to go off on a tangent, but we will talk. We'll talk sports again next week. Hopefully by Wednesday, MLS will have already made their announcements, and then we can go over those.
As a subscriber, I am a defender, so I am with you, baby. I'm in your corner.
Thanks.
And say hi to Dave for us, okay?
I will.
All
He's
right.
getting out the Ginsu knives. Okay.
All
right. Take care.
Be
All right.
good.
Bye.
You gotta love Michelle Kaufmann. She is awesome, and Dave Barry too in the background. There you go, Ginsu knives and everything.
My parents still get the paper delivered. They go through, they read it every day. Blah. On Saturday, it is strictly internet. They do not do delivery on Saturday anymore.
Wow, they moved up in the world. Yeah, no, I'm strictly internet the entire way. But again, it's really not expensive. It's just not, man. I support local journalism, man. I got it, and I think they do a good job. George Albany's chiming in on this super chat. Thank you, George. You are awesome, my brother. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Love it. George puts just 2 glasses of wine. I love it. Good stuff there. Appreciate all of you there chiming in on the super chat. Just a little heads up, music-wise. I always love giving you guys a little heads up. Bare Naked Ladies are streaming today at 5 o'clock. Susanna Hoffs from the Bengals. Today at 5 o'clock, she will be on her YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/wearehere, and here as in here, not H-E-R-E, H-E-A-R, okay? Fred Armisen and Cicely Strong of SNL are going to be there with her, and Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers is also going to be performing with her at 5 o'clock. I just want to warn gentlemen out there, maybe some ladies too, they might be into it. I just want you to don't freak out too much, okay? And don't be too pissed off that Susanna Hoffs looks absolutely stunning at 54, okay? All right? Like stunning and a half, all right? Like she wears no makeup and she looks gorgeous. How? I don't know. She must be eating that avocado ice cream that Tom Brady eats every day or whatever it is. I don't know what it is that she's doing. But I got to tell you, she is a...
Yeah, she still, man, just, I was looking at the shot and it was like, man, she doesn't change.
She's just
like
gorgeous.
like cryopacked, you know what I mean? And will not...
Gorgeous. And she puts on no makeup. None. She put on more makeup back in the 80s and the 90s than she does now. Now she puts on nothing and looks absolutely stunning. So you can watch her at 5 o'clock. The other thing is, if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, they're streaming a new video series dubbed Not in This Lifetime Selects. It's comprised of professionally shot footage from their Not in This Lifetime tour. It will offer various highlights and throughout this massively successful trek. The first installment showcases selections from the band's October 29th, 2019 performance at Vivint Smart Homes Arena in Salt Lake City. GNR kicks off with a blistering rendition of It's So Easy, a fan favorite from the seminal 87 LP Appetite for Destruction. From there, the concert rolls into Chinese Democracy, the much maligned 6th LP, Double Talk and Jive, the classic deep cut from the Use Your Illusion, all that. So anyway, it's a 20-song, it's a 20-track date that they did during this tour. So they're going to give you all kinds of footage throughout. So go to their YouTube page and check it out if you're a Guns N' Roses fan. I will be doing that tonight. I did not watch my Foo Fighters concert last night, so today I'm going to watch the Foo Fighters show, and I'm going to watch the Guns N' Roses stuff when I get home and enjoy that. That'll be cool. I like that.
Want to see the gentleman from Juilliard, bro, Flea.
Yes. Yeah, Flea.
That's, man, that first time we saw him
yes.
At BB&T,
Mhm.
and we will never miss that guy again.
No. Oh.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, it's cool stuff. No doubt about it. What do we have here? No, you guys seem like you're talking with yourselves.
Are they leaving you out, man?
Yeah. Man of 1,005 holds goes, wow, she doesn't look 54. Oh, you looked it up, huh? Yeah. Go to Susanna Hoff's Instagram page, and it will blow you away. Okay? That's all I can tell you. Julius 305 on the super chat. Boy. He says, another entertaining week. Thank you, Julius 305, dude. Thank you for listening, watching every day. I think you're super chatting every day too, pretty much. Appreciate you appreciating us, man. Thank you.
Wow. Recent research has shown
Super chat.
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Thank you, Julius. Good stuff, man. I appreciate you. Super Boom Shack says, saw GNR in Orlando in 16. Was it? Is that the one with the cult opening up? Is that the one I went to? Because I saw Guns N' Roses in Orlando.
Yes, it is.
Is that the one that the cult opened up? I was there for that one. I was sitting. I was in the middle section on the floor, about 17 rows back. And sitting right behind me was Chris Jericho. Jericho and his girlfriend or wife, I'm not exactly sure what she is to him. They were sitting right behind us in that concert. I'm pretty sure that was 4 years ago already, Boom Shack. Wow.
Yeah, because
time flies, dude.
Ours at the baseball stadium was the following year, 17.
Wow. That's been 3 years also, that Guns N' Roses concert in Miami baseball?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I like this. Look, the older you get, man, the faster it goes. It is so true.
Dude. Damn, it went by fast.
You know what?
4 years
You know what
already.
I think, dude? Time has been doing this for freaking 100 billion trillion years, right? Time, go take a vacation. Go relax, chill. Take a decade off. What do you think?
And speaking of that, the cult kicked ass next show. Obviously, Guns N' Roses was awesome, but the cult sounded great in that show. And I was really happy because we got a crappy opener at the baseball stadium for Guns N' Roses. Some rock country type of band or something. I don't know what it was. It was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The Orlando show was much better because you had the cult.
Do you remember the situation over there at the Miami baseball stadium, man? Number one, they had the roof open.
Yes.
And it was hot.
Yeah.
Number two, they didn't have the full concession all the way around the stadium. And the thing about it was more than the average game because you had people on the floor. So there was more people that you should have had every bathroom, every concession stand, everything open. Do you remember the lines for that? And it was just this is Loria and just wanting, to make as much money and
the only thing I remember,
what a jerk.
The only thing I remember was that I was on the floor and I didn't go to the bathroom and I didn't go get anything to drink. Why? Because I was only a couple months removed from putting stents in my heart. So I couldn't do a lot of walking. And my walk to the car, I stopped 3 times.
Oh, whoa. Wow.
3 times I had to stop because my heart was racing, and it was just at first when I had my stents in my heart, it was like a real weird adjustment for me, man, for a while, and my doctor said you got to push through it because what it is it's we opened up your artery, and so now it's like a 4-lane highway, and then all of a sudden it goes back down to 2, and so that's what's going on. A lot of blood is rushing and then goes in, and that's what you're feeling. And so it was one of those things that I had to stop 3 times to get to my car because I would walk for a couple blocks and I'd have to stop and my heart rate was going like forever. And I thought my heart was going to explode out of my chest. And I had to stop and then wait till it calms down, then start walking again. That's all I remember post that concert. And I remember I called my wife on the second one. I go, man, I got to keep stopping. She goes, oh, you want me to drive and go pick you up? I'll make it to the car door.
Bro, I got so lucky. I had at the time I was not living too far away from there, and I had a friend of mine literally drop me off. Like when we started to get into the traffic, I'm like, bro, turn around. I'll walk from here, and I'll give you a call when I'm walking out. And yeah, dude, I walked like 6 blocks away, jumped in the car, and bada bing, out of there. See you. I remember those, man. I can remember trying to walk, and the lines were so bad you couldn't walk through the aisle because the lines of the concessions at each one, and it was like This is Loria, that everything should be open, man, and like half the bathrooms, half the concessions, the backside of the stadium, the outfield, that was all closed off. And it was just, man, it was horrible. Plus, bro, it's summertime. You got a roof, man. Have some AC. Like, what are you doing, bro?
I remember I parked on the other side of 17th, right? Because 17th is the one that's right in front. And I had to go to the other side of the stadium to walk in, so it was an even longer walk for me. That was crazy. Myron Sanchez, super chatting. Thank you, Myron.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly.
Awesome. Too kind, Myron. Super chatting like crazy this week. Appreciate you, man. Happy Memorial Weekend. I believe in Pay Forward. Who is bigger, Godzilla or King Kong? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to go King Kong.
Well, you've lost weight, man, so you're like the medium O.
I'm going to go King Kong. I'm going to go King Kong over Godzilla. I think King Kong's a little more mobile. He can move around a little bit more. He can climb buildings and stuff like that. Godzilla, yeah, he can do a lot of damage with that tail and all that, but he's kind of stiff. The arms are short. I like Kong. He's got length. He can keep him at distance. He can jump if the tail comes swinging at his way. I'm going Kong.
And he can climb. You saw how he climbed the Empire State Building, man. I mean,
So he'll climb the Empire, tear off the tip, and stab Godzilla with it, and so it's over.
Plus, he also wants the hot girl, he's got a lot more game.
He's got a squeeze. King Kong's got a squeeze. Right? That's all it is. And so Godzilla doesn't have a squeeze. He really can't squeeze with those hands. Kong, I'm going with Kong.
There is one thing about Godzilla, though, that's cool. The fire-breathing factor.
Yes. Fire-breathing factor is important. No doubt about it.
As I hear Bluester Colt in the background.
That's right. Big O, I got you if I'm around the area. I'm going to bring you an essential oil for all your heart, and I'm going to bring Bill something for his inflammation for his throat. All right. Well, that would be life-saving right there, especially for Bill. NorCal says the Colt wipes the stage with GNR. Boy, you really hate Axel, man. GP Trap says medium O, looking good. Oh, thank you, GP. Appreciate you, my man. Tommy Italian says I'm going to go with Godzilla. Super Boom Shack says Kong rips dinosaur jaws apart. Man of 1,005 volts says Big O has already made more money than when he was at 560. LOL. That's not a lot of money over there. Big O, let's see. I got Godzilla will burn your ass. So Myron's got the fire breather. Tommy says, yeah, he's got the fire. Hank Goldberg's left nut says, got to run, Big O. Hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll try to listen on Sirius tomorrow. Julius 305 says, Godzilla or Kong? Well, my week is now complete.
You know what I could see? How about this? A great big huge DAC, and you got Godzilla like a lighter, firing it up.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
That's what Godzilla, that's it.
Godzilla helps you kill COVID.
Kong grabs Godzilla and uses him as a lighter to light up his doobie.
Bromar says, if I had Big O's money, I'd throw mine away. Yeah, that would be a big mistake on your part. Huge mistake, Bromar. Something tells me you got more than I do. All right, anyway, we are going to wrap it up here on the show. We thank all of you as always. Super chatting. First of all, the super chats are outstanding. Tommy Italian 305 chiming in a couple times. Eric Holmes, Flipper 13, Alexa V, Drubo, Omar Lopez, Dean G, George Albanese, Julius 305, Myron Sanchez. Thank you all for chiming in on the super chat. Those of you, of course, that are chatting, subscribing, liking, thank you. Watching on YouTube. Remember, you can text us anytime on the accidentlawfirm.com text line whenever you're watching or listening, 786-322-1105. Email Orlando@BigORadioshow.com. We thank Larry Schlossberg, all the great people out here at Craig's Inns, Acura, Pembroke Pines. We will see you on Monday. Yes, we will be grinding on Memorial Day because we grind, baby. We will have some fun. It'll be a light show, but we'll have some fun. You all be good out there, all right? Take it easy.
Have a safe weekend, everybody. Be good.